Amherst Falcons are Youngers Holly Funeral Home, OK Hardware and Rental, H.O. Wolding, International Bank of Amherst, Neville Motors, Whitetail Lane, Amherst Family Food, Neiman's Steak and Chop Shop, Amherst Marine, Amherst Communications, Crossroads Care Center, Crystal River, and C&D Rural Mutual Insurance. Proudly back in the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds are Lashway Automotive, Neville Motors, Neiman's Steak and Chop Shop, Community Insurance, Candy Foods, Premier Community Bank, Iola Dental Clinic, C&D Rural Mutual Insurance, Wapaka Foundry, Silver Lake Lane, Iola Sentry, and Seeger Building. Now let's head out to the field for a preview and the call of the game on WDUX.
We are coming to you live from Falcon Field here on the beautiful campus of Amherst High School for Week 9 of the high school football season. And it will be the Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game featuring the number 1 ranked team in Division 6, the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds, who come in at 8-0 overall, 6-0 in the CWC Large, head coached by Scott Erickson, going up against the Amherst Falcons, who are ranked 3rd in Division 5. Sitting in at 7-1 overall, 6-0 in the CWC Large, head coached by Mark Lusick. Good evening, everyone. I am Steve Maves alongside Justin Moan, Dave Allen back in the studio, making sure everything comes through tonight without a hitch. This is the game that people have circled on their calendar since the schedules came out in the spring. We are going to take a quick 2-minute timeout, come back and set this one up here from Amherst High School. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Welcome to the Hillers True Value pregame show. Hillers is your Milwaukee tool headquarters. Stop at Hillers now and get $100 off your next Milwaukee tool purchase. No trades needed. Hillers will not be undersold. Hillers True Value on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. During the week, we talked to many of the area football coaches. We'll start first in Spencer with Spencer Columbus Rocket head coach Jason Gorst.
All right, Coach, took one on the chin here on Friday, so conference championship off the table. What are the goals now for the rest of the season?
Still same as always, just get better each week, and we have to do that, each and every day this week. And there are some things that we did well and some things we didn't do well, so we have to improve.
Altoona has kind of scuffled all year. They got one win under their belt. So what do you tell the team in practice this week as you get ready for Altoona?
Same as every week in practice. We prepare for every opponent the same, and definitely a focus on what we do with our individual drills, our footwork, our hand placement, those sorts of things. So kind of status quo around here.
And then seed meeting Saturday morning. What do you expect the outcome of that to be?
No idea. Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't know who's going to be in what division, what kind of grouping you're going to get. So hopefully we can get a decent seed, but you never really know until middle of the night, Friday night. So it's where you start to get a feel.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the playoffs.
All right, thank you.
You are watching the Hillers True Value pregame show. The Marshfield Tigers have already wrapped up a division championship. They go for an undefeated season in 2018. Here's Tiger head coach Denny Gadel.
All right, Coach, so we sit here last week of the regular season. You come into it undefeated. Was that a written or stated goal anywhere before the season started, undefeated?
I don't think anybody ever says, hey, we're going undefeated this year. If they are, they're kind of goofy, I'll tell you that, because it doesn't matter every game you play, it's a game. That's why you play the game, and you never know who's going to be up for that game or what could happen, any little things that could go on. They're high school kids. They're 16, 17 years old, so there's never a given at any given week, any given time. It happened. Wausau West beat us a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and then gave us one of our only losses of the season. It was a 21-20 game or 22-21 game, and it happened right out here at Beal Stadium. So that one we remember. And again, going back to the question, that we're never saying we're going undefeated. You got to go in with goals, and our goal is to win a playoff game this year. That was good because we didn't win one last year. Whatever happens, after that, we get in the playoffs. We're happy to get a playoff win, and that was one of our goals. So we didn't expect to be undefeated, but we'll sure take it. We still got a game to play, and Wausau West is a very good opponent, and we're not taking anything lightly. We're out in the mud tonight practicing all of our base plays and making sure that they're going to work perfect on a muddy field over at Tom Field.
So then let's talk about playoffs a little bit without skipping over West. But West has scuffled a little bit this year, but we talk about this all the time. That's why you play the game, and you're taking this one seriously, no doubt. But what will happen this week during practice or during the game Friday to prepare for the playoffs?
Well, we're practicing all, like I said, our base plays. We just did that tonight in the mud, and working on ball handling drills with the balls in the water. We didn't take out any new footballs. Our quarterbacks are throwing 20-pound footballs. They said, "Geez, this is really tough." I said, "Well, get ready for Friday night. We're going to be throwing muddy footballs." And we're getting a good, plays that we're doing, and then the coaches are doing just a tremendous job about what we're doing and the defenses we see, and we make little changes for the defenses we see. And Wes comes in with a couple different looks on defense, so we got to be prepared for that. Working on the plays that our base offense has to run against those defenses, and those are the kind of things we practice right up front here today. But we've been going through for our 2 days so far. We practiced on Sunday and Monday, and we did the things to prepare for that. So now we put it on the field tonight. We thought we were going to get rain. We didn't know what we were going to do. We were going to go in our bus parking lot if it was raining and do things there. But the freshmen took it before us, so we're out and relegated to the mud tonight. So that we did those things. But we're one game at a time, and that's a cliche that maybe everybody says, "Well, you're going to say that," but man, we're living it. It's not even. We know what we are, and we know who we are, and we know what we've got to prepare for. And you can't take anybody lightly. You're playing the best teams in the state of Wisconsin now, and it's up here in the north, and we're prepared for those teams, and it's going to get cold. Those are things we have to do and get ready for. So nothing's taken lightly, and we're working on our base stuff and making sure it's ready for Friday.
So back to 8-0 then, there are some rewards that come with that. One is a home playoff game, and that you'll extend the life of Beal Stadium in that way with at least one. Seed meeting Saturday morning, what do you expect the results of that to be?
That's another thing. There's a lot of people talk about, hey, you're maybe going to be one of the teams that is undefeated that could get a lower seed than number one seed. But you know what? If people do that, I got a lot of fighting material. We're undefeated, so what else are you going to do? So that'll happen when it happens. I mean, we're there. We got our stuff ready to go, but I really don't have to say a whole lot that we're undefeated and we play in a pretty good conference. And, we're playing pretty good football right now. Our stats, for defensive points allowed, it's under, 60 points. I guess I didn't even count lately. But so our defense is playing well, and that's what wins championships. So if people are going to refute those kind of standings and those stats, I don't know. We'll play you. I mean, we have to, and we're gonna give you our best effort, and whatever happens, happens. Because now you got to play them all. So.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Good luck Friday night.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cloverwood Conference Championship game tonight between Abbotsford and Loyal. Let's check in with Falcons and Greyhounds coaches right now.
All right, Coach. How has the season to date met your preseason expectations?
I think we've been pretty much where we want to be. I think we've talked about earlier in the season about improving, getting better every day, and I think we have. And I think we are playing close to our best ball right now, and that was our goal, was be at the end of the season, be vying for a conference championship and playing our best ball. And here we are, week 9, and we're playing for the conference championship. So that's a great thing for us, and we need to have our best game of the year against Abby on Friday.
How was Friday's game against Abbotsford important to you and the team?
Obviously, like we said, it's for a conference championship. Our two teams have battled it for the last 2 or 3 years. So it's bragging rights for another year for that team, that school, that town, and then also for seeding. Obviously the one that wins is going to have a higher seed, and I think those are 2 big things, or 2 or 3 big things that makes it important for both teams. And I think a big thing is that we could go back to back with it, and I think that's important to our young men.
What do you expect of the seed meeting on Saturday, and what seed would disappoint you?
I think a lot depends on Friday night. So what do I expect? Dealing with those seeding meetings, it's kind of a crapshoot, because you don't know where you're going, first of all, until Saturday morning, and then you see who your pool is, and then I think you just go up and you do the best you can to get the best seed you can. Obviously, everyone else is doing the same thing, but you take into consideration conferences and things like that. As far as what seed would I be disappointed in, I don't know. I don't know right now. We'll have to see once what Friday brings, and we'll go from there.
To the Hillers True Value pregame show. Hillers is your Milwaukee Tool headquarters.
All right, Coach, how has the season to date met your preseason expectations?
Honestly, this season's been a roller coaster of up and down, dealing with injuries. When we look at preseason, we expect to have everyone healthy and be playing at a level that your best 11 on the field. The level that changes when guys get hurt is amazing, and we realized that this year. So this season has been frustrating, challenging at times. We're winning ball games, but it's piecing guys together, and there's some young guys that are getting a ton of action, some playing time that I think is paying off for us now, but it was frustrating when it was happening. I think conference championship anytime is a pride thing, and honestly, we've been, I think, against Loyola the last 3 years for the same thing and the same type of game, and last year they got us, and this year isn't about that. It isn't about any of the other ones, but an awesome opportunity to win something that's pretty dang special.
What do you expect at the seed meeting on Saturday, and what seed would disappoint you?
I guess expectations depend on the result of Friday night. If you go in with a conference championship, you have something to hang your hat on. Right now, we have one not great loss to Marathon early on in the year, and they are a team that is probably not a quality team in terms of other people viewing them. They have a losing record, and so we don't have a lot to stand on if we don't win a conference championship. I wouldn't expect a home game in Division 6 if we're not conference champs.
Another conference championship game in the Merriwood. It is the game, Stratford-Edgar, and we will talk to Coach Tubbs. But first, let's go over to Coach Jerry Sins.
So, big game, that's an understatement, right? It's Stratford every year, and you've coached a lot of these kind of games. Just any kind of recollection or memories, things that stood out during the last number of years playing these games against Stratford?
Well, they seem to kind of go in streaks. It seems to have been that way. And also there have been some periods of years where they've been, dominant and maybe, like beat us fairly handily. Then there's been periods of years where we've been dominant and have beaten them handily. And then, of course, there's all those other years where it's been pretty much of a dogfight. I think since about, maybe 2013, 2014, I think it's been pretty much, of a dogfight all those years. Close games decided by field goals or extra points or, those kinds of things.
Yeah, and you had one of those dogfights last year. Now this year, though, different year. Stratford tripped up in their first game, but they've been kind of just clicking right along after that. What do you expect on Friday?
Well, they're big. I'm certainly hoping, that the weather, that it doesn't rain anymore. I know we've got about 5 inches in the last 2-3 days, and we're smaller than they are. We're probably a little faster than they are. They're bigger than us, and so we're hoping, we'd like to play on a track surface, but I know that's not possible. So certainly we would not prefer the mud. So we're hoping for some dry conditions.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Weatherman sometimes do you a favor, sometimes not, right? So the winner of the game turns out to be the conference championship or conference champion, but then you go off to the playoffs after that. Seed meeting Saturday morning, almost assuredly a 1 seed. So what are the goals in the playoffs and just week by week? Take us through that.
Well, we had 2 major goals at the beginning of the year. One was to win the conference, and one was, to get to the state championship game. And obviously, we've been doing okay so far. Had a few little, bumps along the road, but, overall, things have been going pretty good. So the playoffs, obviously, normally for us, if we get in Division 7, the playoffs aren't as tough as a lot of our regular season games are, because we're playing teams of 150 instead of teams of 340 or 400 and something, like, Baldwin or Tomahawk or some of these other teams we play throughout the year. So, yeah, generally, the teams we play in the playoffs aren't as big, aren't as physical as the teams we see during the regular season.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach, as we take a look at the season now, coming to a completion, stumbled out of the gates in week 1, but been rolling since then. What's the difference between week 1 and now?
Well, I mean, you look back at that Spencer Columbus, and they're a good team, and they scored all their points in the first half. And since that second half, we shut them out, and we've been playing our type of football. And I think our kids were nervous, you could tell, and who knows, we might be playing them come playoff time. But our guys have gotten confident playing against good teams like Antigo, Marengo, Illinois, and now we're going into another a rival game, which our guys are looking forward to it. But one thing we've done is we've kind of gone back to giving the ball to our running backs and running the ball more, and Max Robbie has done a great job passing. He has 1,100 yards passing.
Coach, you mentioned maybe who's coming up in the playoffs. We'll touch on that a little bit, and then we'll move on to Edgar. But as the new rankings came out today, and I know coaches don't care a lot about rankings, but as they came out, number 3, Amherst, their only loss against St. Mary Springs. Number 4, Spencer Columbus, their only loss last week against Regis, and then you right below them with your only loss against them. So if you were to put together rankings, is that kind of how it looks between the 3 of you?
Until we beat Amherst, they're ahead of us. Until we beat Spencer Columbus, they're ahead of us. And they've beaten us, two out of the last 4 years, Spencer Columbus respectively, and Amherst seems like every year. So yes, and they got Springs number 1, but I think they're going to end up going 6. So I think we have a chance, honestly. I really do this year. I think our guys are ready. I think we're healthy finally, and that's a big difference. And I know that, Amherst has been giving up more points that they have all year, and they got to play a really good Iola team Friday night.
Yeah, they do. So with those rankings, and then we got the seed meeting coming up on Saturday, is that kind of how you expect it to kind of fall in line like that?
If we can find a way to be conference champs, which means we're beating Edgar, which is a big task. I think we got a good chance to be a 1 seed. But if we're in the same room with Spencer Columbus, all they got to say is their only loss is to Regis, who they think is really good, and we beat them guys head to head, and then we're looking at a 2 seed hopefully. Right. Weird things happen. Last year I didn't think we'd be a 5 seed and go on the road to Bondwell and then Stanley Boyd, who was the 1 seed.
Yeah, and you happen to win both of those, so your team is hot now. You're on a roll coming in Friday. Edgar, you don't even have to get into the history of that. Everybody knows that. So just what you know about Edgar football this year, you already know about Stratford football. What do you expect on Friday?
Yeah, a nice, hard, physical fought Friday night game. They have a great quarterback, Carson, and he's a 3-year starter for them. And, they got some powerful running backs, some fast running backs. I think where we have maybe a small advantage is our line. I think our O&D line, a little bit more polished than them right now. They've more experience from our guys coming back from last year, and they're starting to play like that.
Coach, right before this started, our audience heard from Coach Sins. He talked about his team speed, your team size. Is it as simple as that?
We're pretty fast too. I love. I don't want to match 40 times and all that stuff, but our guys are pretty quick too. We just don't go out and advertise our 40s. And Cade Erickey runs a 4.65. He's just as fast as their fastest kid, and he's finally back to 100%. And Eli Drexler, who just came back, ran a 4.4 for us. So we have speed too, but we like to pound and ground it more, and I think they're going to try to get on the edges more.
Coach, you mentioned conference championships. So last question here: when you sat down to start the season, was that something on a checklist that you had and a goal for these guys this year? Every year
is a conference championship goal for these guys. Whether we get it or not, that's one of our goals, because we know then that sets you up for the seeding and everything else.
Thank you for watching the Hillers True Value pregame show. Hillers is your Milwaukee Tool headquarters. Stop at Hillers now and get $100 off your next Milwaukee Tool purchase. No trades needed. Hillers will not be undersold. Hillers True Value on South Central Avenue in Marshfield.
As just talking a little bit about the Amherst defense now, Aiden Elwood, the top defender for Amherst, 65 tackles on the year, 43 solo tackles. We talked about Iola only giving up 12 first-half points. Amherst has only given up 3 points in the third quarter this year.
Yeah, that's key.
That's just coming out of halftime. A lot of people that I've heard and talked to say Mark Lusick, and that Mark Lusick, Doug Spadoni, the coaching staff from Amherst, is one of the best making changes at halftime.
Absolutely, they're so disciplined, and that's going back to them being so well coached, and it goes back to the great teams find ways to win the game, especially in the fourth quarter. And the Manawa game is the best example. That game was tied after 3, and Manawa was in Amherst red zone 4 times, no points. And Amherst, I believe, scored 19 points in that fourth quarter. So, again, they find ways to win late when they need to. And that's one of the small reasons that they are the team that they are and the program that they are.
Yep, absolutely. Again, week 9 of high school football here in Amherst. It is the Amherst Falcons and the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds. We are on AM 800 WDUX. Over on our FM side, game 1 of the NLCS, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Other games going on around the area before we take a break and get you the starting lineups. Other games going on around the area. Whitburg, Burnhamwood is at Manawa. Bondwell is at Pacelli. Shiocton is at Waiawega Fremont. Marion Tigerton is at Allman Bancroft. Allman Bancroft winning a conference championship last week at Pittsville. Pittsville is at Flambeau. Tri-County is at Rochelle. Wild Rose without a game this week. They did not have a week 9 scheduled game. In the Bay Conference, Clintonville is at Green Bay West. Green Bay West has had their troubles. Seymour is at Menasha. New London is at Shawano. Green Bay East is at West Lapeer. And the Waupaca Comets are at Xavier.
And we should point out that if Manawa wins that game, they're in the playoffs. If Waupaca wins, they are in the playoffs.
All right. Well, we'll keep our eye on that and give you any updates that we will have throughout the game. We'll take another 2-minute timeout, come back with the starting lineups from Amherst High School right after this.
Inside your smartphone is your own personal premier community bank. No matter if you're in Pulaski, Winneconne, or Walla Walla, Washington, Premier's family of banking apps get banking done. Deposit a check from Chippewa Falls. Execute a transfer from Two Rivers. Or check your balance from Brookfield.
There aren't a whole lot of people
Anywhere
here.
life takes you,
No,
there's
not as
a
many as I
Premier
thought.
Community Bank app to help
At least
you
not yet.
along
Yeah.
the way. Download our bill pay app and schedule monthly
Yep, the
bills.
line's still
Pay
coming.
a single bill or securely send money. Even
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota, powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
Join as a community in support of the Thunderbirds. T-Bird fans find the support they need for oral health at Ivy Dental Clinic. Family dentistry for all. Dr. Moss and staff serve you in a friendly, professional manner, making your visit a pleasant experience. This is important because regular dental visits are necessary to maintain a winning smile. Everyone can win. Go Thunderbirds, and best wishes from Iola Dental Clinic. C&D Professional Insurance and Rural Mutual Insurance believe there's something more important than just winning or losing a tournament. That's why they've proudly sponsored the WIAA Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for more than 50 years. Dave Loken lives and works in your community and cares about the same things you do. For a free insurance quote, contact C&D Professional Insurance at 715-258-8830.
Have to do another 2 minutes.
2 more minutes, Dave.
Can you see by the Lord's what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Or call 715 281-8096. 715-281-8096. Welcome in the morning at Scandyhoose, serving breakfast and lunch every day. Try their crepes for the
looks
fresh
like Iola
food
will
of the day.
receive.
It'll be hard to just have one. They are so yummy. Scandyhoose is becoming the popular spot in town with their ruby coffee drinks, wonderful gift selection, local artwork, free Wi-Fi, and now breakfast and lunch served till 2. Tap into the Scandinavia culture at Scandyhoose, downtown Scandinavia. Open Tuesday through Friday, 7 to 5. Saturdays, 8 to 4. Welcome.
Welcome back to Amherst High School as we are set to bring you the Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game between the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds and the Amherst Falcons. National anthem being nicely done. And now the starting lineups being announced for the Iola-Scandinavial senior night here in Amherst. So they'll have the seniors for Amherst, and it looks like their parents as well. Again, Amherst coming in 7-1 overall, and Iola-Scandinavia 8-0 overall. We talked a little bit about it before coming on the air. This game has a lot of playoff implications, both for Amherst and Iola, because the way that everything is set out right now, St. Mary's Springs, who has been dominant for the last 30 years, has a chance. They've been ranked #1 all year long in Division 5, but because of the number of teams that are in that iffy area between Division 5, 6, and 7, St. Mary's could be the biggest school in Division 6. And Iola does not want to see that.
No, absolutely not. And luckily for them, St. Mary Springs will be in Division 5, I believe. But yeah, as long as St. Mary Springs is not in Division 6, it looks pretty good for Iola-Scandinavia if everything plays itself out the way it should.
Yeah, absolutely. They are naming the senior night tonight for Amherst, the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds in their away whites, black bottoms, and their usual orange helmets. On this immaculate night, we'll get you the temperature for kickoff. The field is in pristine condition. We came out here as soon as we got here, and we said it to ourselves. This field is absolutely perfect for a game here tonight.
It really is. It's always looked great. And the one thing I've mentioned it before in past games, whenever we come here, the one thing I love about Amherst, the football field, there's hash marks. Yeah. You don't see that in any other school in this area.
Yeah, that is very rare. I mean, even to have hash marks in the middle of the field, and then they have them on the sidelines as well.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot too.
Yeah, and you mentioned this when we first got here, that they really they've almost outdone themselves. Of course, they're honoring breast cancer awareness, so they got the pink ribbons by the 45-yard lines.
Yeah, and then the big A at midfield. They used to put Falcons in the end zone, but might have started running out of paint for that. But they do not have that. They have the usual Amherst Falcons on the pads at the goalpost. But they did announce the seniors, and that is what they will. That is what they will have before we begin things here at Amherst. I've been giddy all day. I've been ready.
Hey, I'm right along with you. What a sharp contrast for Amherst. They had, I believe, 10 seniors as opposed to 20 last year.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and we were talking about that a little earlier. It's Amherst, just looking at the program, numbers a little bit down, obviously, like you just said, losing 20 seniors last year from a team that was a Division 5 state champion. Iola-Scandinavia will be set to receive as we are set to go here at Amherst. On your radio dial, Iola-Scandinavia going from left to right, and Amherst going right to left once they get the ball on offense.
Sit back, boys and girls, and enjoy one heck of a ride tonight. It's going to be fun.
First kick, 33 degrees here in beautiful Amherst, Wisconsin. Wind, excuse me.
That's how excited you are, Steve.
Wind is at 5 miles an hour coming out of the west as we get things going here in Amherst. We are just about to the top of the hour. We'll have the station ID as soon as this kick is sent. Working from right to left, Amherst to kick off from the 40-yard line. Two receivers back, Alex Sharp on the near side, Bryce Hittner And a little squibber will be taken at the 27-yard line to the outside and gets smacked right at the 27-yard line. Good tackle there. And that is where this Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds will start things.
Yeah, that squib kick, not a bad strategy. Given how cold it is, that ball's not going to travel very far with kicks.
You're listening to high school football on WDUX AM Waupaca. Steve Mavis alongside Justin Moan. Dave Allen is back at the studio, and we will be able to see Bryce Hittner and the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds offense right away, averaging over 400 yards per game. And quite a backfield they got. Two running backs. And they're going to play action pass on the first pass. A long pass. He's got his receiver over the shoulder.
Wow, what a catch.
And it's going to be tackled at the 18-yard line. What a pass, what a catch with the play action. And we talked about it. Iola doesn't throw the ball a lot. But that was a great play call on the opening play of the game.
Yeah, you expect Hittner to get the ball. And no one anticipated play action pass. It's just an out route or just a vertical. And a great throw there by Kirky. Great completion.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Iola-Scandinavia inside the Amherst red zone. Hittner behind Kirky. And they're going to give it to him this time up the middle. Bounces it out to the left side. Stiff arms a tackler. Breaks another one inside the 15, inside the 10. And it's going to be 1st down and goal for, first down and goal for Iola inside the 5.
Yeah, typically Hittner is a north and south runner. Not much room there, but he can get to the edge, and he's tough to bring down. One man is not going to tackle him alone.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for Iola. Hittner and Iola showing their offensive prowl early on. A big play to begin things. Has Hittner on his right, does Kirky. Shotgun formation, going to give it to him again right up the middle, and he's going to fall forward and not get there. Good tackle up the middle by Amherst. And it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Yeah, Amherst this year, as opposed to years past, a little undersized. They don't really have the girth at the line of scrimmage, so that's going to be a very interesting challenge for them tonight.
Kirky under center, he fumbles the snap, and he was able to get it to Hittner. But again, that cold football, at times tough to handle.
Yeah, those things will happen in a game like this, as crisp as things are. Still going to be a little bit slick.
Iola-Scandinavia averaging 402 yards per game, 60 through the air, 342 on the ground, and they have quite a bit of that on the first pass of the game.
Absolutely.
It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. 10.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Iola-Scandinavia marching down the field. Pistol formation again, and high snap, going to give it. No, he's going to keep it, and he's going to fall forward and not get it. Another stand there by the Amherst defense. Coming out of it with the ball, but no fruition was Ethan Dombreski for Amherst.
Yeah, Amherst defensive line winning the battle on that one, and let's see what they do.
4th and goal from inside the 2. They have them at the 1. A big 4th down to start things here for Amherst and Iola. Receiver near side is it looks like 84. Pistol, shotgun formation again. Hard snap, they're going to give it to Hittner on the outside. He rumbles in for the touchdown. Like Justin said, he runs north to south, but on that couple of hands off, he was east to west and pounded his way through the line and into the end zone.
Yeah, a little shifty move there to the left between the guard and the tackle, and he caps it off with a touchdown.
Bryce Hittner with his 27th touchdown of the year on the ground, and Iola-Scandinavia has a 6-0 lead with 9:36 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and that is his 75th career touchdown, and only his 2nd against Amherst all time.
Wow. Trying for the PAT.
His first touchdown since his freshman year in garbage time.
Is Connor Kirky. Snap down. Hold good, and it is through the uprights and good. With 9:36 to go in the opening quarter, it is the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds 7 and the Amherst Falcons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Back to Amherst High School. Iola-Scandinavial off to a quick start, going at 73 yards and converting on a 1-yard touchdown run by Bryce Hittner. Like Justin said, his 75th career touchdown, and Amherst Iola-Scandinavial is ahead 7-0. Kicking it from the 40, a little squib kick again, and that one's going to get through all the lines and taken by Amherst at the 26-yard line. Has room on the outside, breaks the tackle and gets ripped down by his head at the 46-yard line. Good return, and Amherst is going to have great field position to begin things.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how quickly they respond, because as I mentioned in the pregame, Iola-Scandinavial, they score on you early and often, but Amherst can get off to a fast start too.
And Amherst will have it 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. The big play on that opening drive for Iola was the first play of the game. A huge pass play to put them at the 16-yard line. And now it will be Lincoln Cullen for the Falcons, the junior quarterback. 4 receivers, 2 near side, 2 far side. Josh Rick behind him in the pistol. He's going to keep it on the near side and just fall forward and get ripped down. And it's going to be second and a long 8 yards.
The Iola-Scandinavial winning the battle there at the line of scrimmage. And they've got the size, Steve, and that's going to be, again, one of the key things to look for in this game tonight.
Lincoln Cullen, again in his first year under the helm as a starting quarterback, got some playing time last year when Amherst was blowing people out behind Marcus Gladusky. Pistol formation again. He's going to keep it again and go absolutely nowhere. Gets swallowed up, and no gain, no loss in the play, and it's going to be 3rd and a long 8 at the 48.
Yeah, Carter Snyder, one of the leading tacklers on Iola-Scandinavial right there to help make that play.
And Cullen comes over to the sideline every time to get the play and goes into his huddle and lets his offensive lineman know what's going on. Pistol formation again for Cullen. 2 receivers far side, 2 near side. Josh Rick behind him in motion. And he's going to be back to pass, slant, and it's going to be caught.
Wow!
Inside Iola territory. What a catch. And it's 1st down for Amherst. That's Zach Tully. What a catch. What a route on that slant.
Absolutely. Little seam there, and he fits it right in the only place it can go for it to be completed. Otherwise, that might be intercepted.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Amherst Falcons. 2 receivers near side, 2 far side. Pistol formation again for Lincoln Cullen. Almost fumbled the snap. Pass it with the wide receiver screen, and a nice catch, nice run by Chris Anderson to the 34-yard line, gain of 6. That's going to be 2nd and 4.
One of the most effective plays that Amherst has is that bubble screen. They've been successful with it for so long. Part of the bread and butter of Mark Lusik's offense.
A gain of 6 on that opening play, and it's going to be 2nd and 4. Still that they are in the same formation every time. Josh Rick yet to touch the ball. He has over 1,000 yards on the year. Bubble screen again is going to be caught and taken by Kyle Zableski on the far side, past the 25, inside the 20, and get pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And a good gain there for Amherst. A gain of 16, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Amherst inside the 20-yard line.
Who would have thought, Steve? With 2 dominantly running teams, they've been throwing the ball here.
Yep. Yeah, and it's been quite something to see it. That we'll go back to it when Iola gets the ball again, but Amherst marching right down the field at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Pistol formation again for Lincoln Cullen. Josh Rick behind him. He's going to keep it again. He just puts his head down and falls forward for a gain of maybe a yard or 2, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8. Josh Rick yet to touch the ball.
But don't worry, folks, he's going to get the ball soon. It's just a matter of time. They're just feeling each other out.
2nd and 8. Under 7 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Iola-Scandinavia going down the field on their opening drive. And a 1-yard touchdown on a 4th and goal. Lincoln Cullen again to take the snap. Surveying the defense, gives it up to Josh Rick, this time up the middle, and falls forward inside the 15 to around the 11-yard line. And again, a 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Falcons.
That's not a bad run there by Rick. Makes it a manageable 3rd down.
Bryce Hittner with the tackle on that one. He is also the leading tackler for Iola-Scandinavia.
Not a surprise there. He loves contact.
I've seen plenty of short, stocky football players in this Central Wisconsin Conference over the years, and he fits that perfect build.
Absolutely.
Short, stocky, and does not
You could also be describing me when you say that.
Kyle Zableski in motion for Amherst, gives it up. No, he's going to keep it on the option. Going to fall forward inside the 12, and it's going to be, they're going to give him the first down. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
And he really earned that one, too.
Yeah. And that was a perfect read. Josh faked it to Rick, had Zableski come back on that option play, didn't give it to him, and read the defense perfect for the first down.
Amherst 4th in the conference on 3rd down conversion, 30.8%.
1st and goal for Amherst at the 6-yard line. 4 receivers out again. In motion goes Chris Anderson. Going to keep it and fall inside the 5-yard line. At the 5-yard line, it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5. So Amherst a little more methodical on their drive, converting a couple of 3rd downs.
Every yard they've gained running the football so far tonight has been it's been earned. It's been hard yards.
Yeah, a couple of good pass plays and a couple, like you said, tough runs. Now coming into the game, Aiden Elwood, the top tackler on the Falcons team, coming in to possibly give them that extra beef on the line to block. And he is that extra, don't want to quite call him a tight end, that split wide receiver in the slot. Big beef there, and they're going to give it to him on the end around. Iola was ready for it, and a loss of 2. Back to the 7-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 7.
Yeah, Iola-Scandinavial was not fooled on that. They saw that coming a mile away.
And back into the game are more skilled players for Amherst. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 6 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Amherst trying to punch it in after Iola went down the field on their opening drive. 3 receivers far side. Near side is Zach Tully. Rick, the running back behind Lincoln Cullen. Back to pass. And it's going to be knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Nicely done by Iola-Scandinavial, and it's going to be 4th and goal.
Yeah, probably that was a good thing for Cullen that was incomplete. Because, again, a lot of T-birds, a lot of white jerseys around that football.
Lincoln Cullen standing just 5'11", 165 pounds. And it's going to be 4th and goal with 3:50 to go. They're going to try for the field goal.
And they may want to think about this.
Yeah, they're going to get the block and see what the back judge, they're taking a very, very long time. It would be a 22-yard field goal. That's Chris Anderson to kick. They're counting now. Snap. Good, hold good, and it was partially blocked, but it is good through the uprights, and good. 22-yard field goal for Chris Anderson, and Amherst is on the board with 3:46 to go in the opening quarter. It is Iola-Scandinavia 7, and Amherst 3. Will be back in 60 seconds.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
281-8096. 715-281-8096.
Back to Amherst High School as a little squib kick taken right up the middle. Lots of room, but taken down at the 41-yard line, and that is this time where the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds will take it. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A nice drive for the Falcons, ending up in a field goal, a 22-yard field goal. Got partially blocked, but enough leg strength by Chris Anderson to get it through the uprights.
Yeah, you know, preferably if you're Amherst, you obviously would want a touchdown on that drive, but to get 3 points out of that, at least you got some points.
Yep. Yeah, and like we said, Iola-Scandinavia's defense stingent during the first half. In motion, going to pitch it out to the left side for Hittner. It's got room up the middle, but got dragged down nicely there by Carmelo Elman.
Yeah, another one of those things that we don't really expect too much. As we mentioned, you know, Bryce Hittner is predominantly a north and south runner, but most of his carries he's been trying to get to the edge.
Josh Rick with the tackle, excuse me. And it's going to be a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Receiver near side is Alex Sharp. Pistol formation again. Kirky trying to warm up his hands. He's going to give it to Hittner up the middle, fall forward to around the 44-yard line, and maybe gain a half a yard. That's going to be 3rd and 6, a long 6. No, maybe 3rd and 7.
Yeah, look, they're going to give it 3rd and 6.
Yep, 3rd and a very long 6 at the 44.5-yard line for Iola-Scandinavia.
And that's a vintage Bryce Hittner run there, but this time there was really not much room for him. So Amherst winning that battle at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be 3rd and 6. Hittner now flanks Kirky to the right side. 2 receivers far side. They're going to play action pass again. Has him across the middle, wide open. He's going to drop it. He had Alex Sharp. That's the receiver I was looking at. Had Sharp wide open at around the 35 to 30-yard line. Tried for the near receiver, and it was dropped by William Caddy.
Yeah, that was a little bit high, but at the same time, that's one he probably should have caught.
Caddy is
Katie.
Katie,
yep.
Out of, it's going to be 4th down. We'll give you that stat in just a second. They're going to back to punt. A little fluke punt, but it's going to roll inside the, stop right at the 20-yard line. But we're just going to go off a little bit of Katie's numbers. Out of Kirky's 378 passing yards, Katie had 300 of them.
That's right.
And all the touchdowns.
That's right.
But a very good stop by Amherst on that drive. A couple of runs by Hittner and an incomplete pass, and Amherst is going to have the ball right back again.
And in my humble opinion, I'm hoping to see more between Kirky and not only his brother, but also Katie as well, going into the postseason to help spread things out once playoffs begin.
Especially, obviously, you want to keep it on the ground when it starts snowing and getting cold. But like you said earlier, you can only give Bryce Hittner so many carries during the year. It's going to be 1st and 10 with 2:13 to go at the 20-yard line for the Falcons. As Cullen's going to just put his head down again and fall forward for no gain on the play.
It looked initially that he might have had an opening, but ultimately the Thunderbirds' defensive line, they snuffed that out quickly.
Yeah, usually over the last couple of years, Amherst has had big cards. I see Iola has those big cards to call offensive plays, but Lincoln Cullen comes over to Coach Lusick every single time to get his offensive play.
Yeah, and I think those big cards, that's becoming a trend not only for these 2 schools, but all the other schools in this area.
3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Josh Rick is behind Lincoln Cullen again, and Mark Lusick will take a timeout with 1:31 to go here in quarter number 1. It is Iola-Scandinavia 7, Amherst 3. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Go.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier. Treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile.
Back to Amherst High School. Falcons using their first time out of the first half. Lincoln Cullen again in the pistol. Josh Rick behind him, back to pass, and off time. No timing, not good timing there between Isaac Primus and Lincoln Cullen.
No, and it didn't seem like Primus really expected the football right there. Just came right at the last second, and he couldn't really react properly.
A long 3rd and 10 for Amherst now. Ball on the 20-yard line after they forced Iola with a 3-and-out. And now Amherst trying to see if they can pick up some more yards, make it a punt a little more manageable to flip the, don't want to say flip the field because you don't see a lot of booming kicks in high school punting, but at least give them a little extra help on the defensive side. 1:28 to go, quarter number 1, excuse me, 3 receivers near side. Cullen back to pass again, 3-step drop, pump fakes, has Primus open, and draw over the head of Primus and through the hands of Isaac, and it's incomplete. He had him open on the double move. Just a little too far for Isaac Primus.
He did, and usually he is pretty accurate to 65% completion percentage, and he did have him, but just about a yard overthrown.
Utilizing the pump fake just enough, but just over the little bit over the head.
Yep, he had it too.
Of Isaac Primus. Back to punt is Lincoln Cullen. Back to receive is Bryce Hittner. He stands at his own 44-yard line, as where their drive stalled last time. Lincoln Cullen back to punt. They came after him, and it was blocked. It's blocked. It's going to take an Amherst roll, however, all the way to the 39 or 41-yard line. That is where Iola-Scandinavial will start. You saw it on the field goal attempt that they brought a lot of pressure, got a finger on it, but this time they were able to come through.
Yeah, don't forget about special teams because that could be a factor in this game, and it almost was on that field goal attempt. Yep. It definitely was on this one here.
A blocked punt, and Iola-Scandinavial will start inside Amherst territory at the 41-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 far side, 1 near side. The running back near side is Carter Kirky, and Bryce Hittner stands behind Connor. And back to pass again, has him open, far side, working on Isaac Primus, and incomplete along the sideline.
Yeah, that was just great coverage there by Primus, and another one that he had. It was close.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. They're trying for those home run balls on the first down. They have it in pretty good field position.
Yeah, and he's got the arm too.
Yep.
And he's going to be there for the next 2 years.
Yeah, we saw him on that opening drive, that first pass through the air. It probably went a good 40 yards.
Yeah, it was a thing of beauty.
Yep. And now Bryce Hittner's going to take the snap. In the Wildcat, he's going to keep it himself, run up the middle, have room, and a great block up the middle, and it's going to be a first down inside the 30-yard line. And that is where Iola-Scandinavial will take it with 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
We've seen this in their arsenal throughout Bryce Hittner's career in that Wildcat formation, and it's been, for the most part, pretty successful.
Bryce on the year, 0 for 1 passing I saw on with Sports. So got Connor Kirky as a receiver far side. Again, Wildcat formation with Bryce Hittner. Carter Kirky telling the lineman what's going on. Going to snap it, going to keep it again on the left side, bounce it out. He's got room up the middle and plows over a defender. And inside the 20, right at the 20-yard line, it looks, a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, just a meat and potatoes run between the guard and the tackle on the left side.
As They will have to run at least one more play with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it looks like they're going to go back to that Wildcat again. It's working, might as well. With Hittner and now Connor Kirky going to flick it to Connor Kirky on the play or the motion, and he's going to get a couple yards. Are they going to give him the first down? It's going to be third.
I don't think they don't even know. It looks like it'll be third down and very short.
Yeah, third and very short. Under 5 seconds to go. Oh, they're stopping the clock.
They may get a measurement on this.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very close. The chains were moving, but the down marker said third down, and it was staying third down.
Yeah.
So it's going to be third and extremely short with 2.9 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Iola-Scandinavia on the move again.
Yeah, Amherst really does not want to fall too far behind in this game. And for either side, I think a team that has a double-digit lead really is going to have the advantage moving forward.
Measurement on the near side in front of the Amherst sideline. And it's going to be first down, Iola-Scandinavia. So it will be first down, Iola, inside the 20-yard line. And see if they wind the clock and let the clock run out here to finish up the first quarter between Amherst and Iola. Iola has, besides that second drive where they got stalled, they have been very methodical and taking care of the Amherst Falcons. After one quarter of football here at Amherst, it is Iola-Scandinavia 7, Amherst 3. We'll be back in 60 seconds with quarter number 2.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. Steve Mavs alongside Justin Moen, Dave Allen back in the studio. And Iola leads the Amherst Falcons 7-3 in quarter number 2. In that first quarter, Bryce Hittner surpassed the 6,000 career rushing yards. He needed 15 coming into the game. He's got about 39, Justin, and it's one heck of an accomplishment.
Absolutely. What an incredible player. One of the all-time greats in Iola-Scandinavia.
They're going back to the Wildcat formation. Bryce Hittner going to take the snap. Connor Kirky near side is the receiver. And they're going to keep it on the far side with the fake, and it's a fumble. He fumbled the ball, and it might be a second lost fumble of the year. We'll see who comes out with it. And it will be, they're not pointing anywhere. It looks like Iola must have come up with it.
Yep, looks like they did. Couldn't quite see on that far side.
It's going to be second down for Iola-Scandinavia. Almost a huge break for Amherst, and would have been huge for Iola to lose the ball that far into Amherst territory. But they're going to go back with the same formation. 2nd and 2 from the 9-yard line, 11:15 to go in quarter number 2. Hittner's going to take it in at high snap as the defensive line swat him up right away. It looks like it's going to be a 1st and goal. It's going to be close. But Hittner has gotten the ball 4 or 5 straight times on that Wildcat.
Yeah, Hittner, last year's game was almost like his breakthrough game against Amherst, so to speak. He had 16 carries for 133 yards. But the one thing that Amherst has been able to do is keep him out of the end zone. Prior to tonight, he only had 1 touchdown against them, and that was during his freshman year.
Going to be 3rd and very, very short at the 6-yard line. 10:40 to go. They're going to try and get the play. A little confusion by the Iola offense, putting their hands up, not really sure what's going on, but They will have it. Third and a very short one. Under center is Connor Kirky. He's going to give it to Hittner up the middle and going to be stonewalled, but he's going to fall forward for the first down.
The Iola-Scandinavial #1 in the conference in third down conversions at 66.7%. To put that in perspective, they'll convert 2 out of 3 times, and that's exactly what they've done on third down tonight.
First and goal for Iola-Scandinavial at the 5-yard line. 2 receivers near side. Connor Kirky looking at his wristband to get the play. Pistol formation with Bryce Hittner standing behind him. Warming up his hands, rubbing them together. Doesn't have a hand warmer or anything. Hittner up the middle is going to fall forward and inside the 3 to about the 2.5 yard line, or 1.5 yard line. And Hittner and the Thunderbirds threatening again.
Yep, just a simple dive play up the middle.
Iola-Scandinavial looking for their first conference title since 2007 and their first one since joining the Central Wisconsin Large Conference. And shotgun formation now. The Kirky's Carter to the left of Connor and Hittner to the right of Connor as well. And shotgun, they're going to give it. It got stonewalled, but he's going to stay on his feet. And Amherst keeps on pushing. He keeps on falling, and he's going to be inside the 1. And it's going to be 3rd and goal. Had him at the point of attack, but the strength of Bryce Hittner is unmatchable.
It really is. He is tough to bring down. You certainly can't bring him down individually. Even with 3-4 guys, you really have to get him by his legs.
Under center, Connor Kirky, he's going to fall forward as Bryce Hittner pushed him over.
Wow.
And it's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown. Mark Lusick calling for the push from behind. And it is into the end zone, and it's 13-3, Iola-Scandinavial.
Yeah, it was that second effort that got him in.
And Iola looking for that PAT.
Amherst initially had that stuffed out.
Yep.
But again, it was that second effort by Iola-Scandinavial to punch it through.
And to attempt the PAT, Connor Kirky. That's going to be... Yeah, they lined up usually funny, and then they get back into a line of normal line. It's 13-3 with 8:57 to go. Snap good, and it was way, way off. Far right, or wide right, and it's no good. And with 8:57 to go in quarter number 2 is now Iola-Scandinavial 13. Amherst 3 will be back in 60 seconds.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Amherst High School a touchdown, but have missed PAT, and it's 13-3 in favor of this Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds. That one's going to be kicked and roll out of bounds, and Amherst will start again with pretty good field position.
2 oopses on special teams for Iola-Scandinavial. They missed extra points and the kick out of bounds.
Yep, back-to-back for Iola, but another good drive after that blocked punt. Goodness, probably, 6 or 7, maybe 8 times in a row they ran that wildcat formation with Bryce Hittner. Worked just about every time. And then Connor Kirky QB sneak at the 1-yard line to punch it in.
Yeah, that looked like a very successful, well, I mentioned it before, the Wildcat has been successful for Iola-Scandinavial in the past.
Amherst will start at their own 35-yard line with 8:57 to go in quarter number 2. Besides that opening drive, unable to move the ball much here this evening has Amherst. Just their 3rd drive of the night. Gives it to Rick. No, he's going to keep it, flip it back, and have room. Nice block by the wide receiver and stay up. and he'll be ripped out of bounds. It's past the 40 to the 43-yard line. Nice run there by Chris Anderson. Had the nice option pitch by Lincoln Cullen, and it's going to be second down at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we just got word there from Mike Wetland at the FM studio that Mano was up 20-0 over Wittenberg at the end of the first quarter.
Well, it looks like Mano is once again on their way to the playoffs, possibly. One of those schools, Wittenberg, Burnhamwood, along with Shiacton, having very troubled years this year. Shiacton usually one of those top-tier teams in this conference, struggling this season. Back to pass, has it, and going to be sniffed out immediately by Iola. Kyle Zableski losing a couple of yards, and a tough play call and a big loss there by Amherst. It was 3rd and 3. Now it's going to be it was 2nd and 3. Now 3rd and 7 from the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that was number 22, Kyle Heisey, snuffed that one out beautifully. Now makes it 3rd and long for Amherst.
Yeah, it was 3rd and manageable. Now 3rd and long, like Justin said. 2 receivers near side, 2 far side. Rick is the running back behind Lincoln Cullen. Pistol formation again. Hard snap, back to pass, 3-step drop. Has Primus across the middle and again over the top, and dropped between the through the hands of Isaac Primus, and a high throw to Primus falls incomplete.
Yeah, there really wasn't much that Primus can do on that one. Just a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, had him in stride and just unable to. Once you're in stride, those are tough to be able to jump up and try and catch. Lincoln Cullen back to punt. He stands at his own 24-yard line as Bryce Hittner stands at his 30. We'll see if, looks like Iola bringing pressure again. They've had pressure the 2 times they've brought it on a field goal and a punt. Cullen back to punt. They bring it again, and almost blocked it again. And it's going to roll inside the 30, inside the 25, and it will be down at around the 22-yard line, and that is where Iola will begin their 4th drive of the night. 2 have been touchdowns, 1 a 3-and-out. See if Amherst could see if they can again try to stop them on a 3-and-out here in quarter number 2. 7:51 to go in the second quarter. Iola 13, Amherst 3. Steve Ames alongside Justin Moen, Dave Allen back in the studio. We play the Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game. Bryce Hittner again in the Wildcat. They're going to give it, he's going to keep it, and he's going to get swallowed up, maybe falling forward for a couple of yards. And it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
What we've seen so far is hard-earned yards by both sides. Not that big explosive play yet.
Yep.
At least running the football.
Yeah, they had that one big pass play to begin the game, but since then, Amherst on pass defense has been pretty good. Passing offensively still has to get the cold weatherness under their skin. Scott Erickson will take a timeout. A little confusion offensively with 7:11 to go in quarter number 2. It is Iola-Scandinavial 13, Amherst 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally.
Leading 13-3. We talked a little bit about how this game could fluctuate the seeding. That seeding meeting's happening tomorrow. I think the first one, I think they're scheduled for around 11, I believe, is when they're scheduled to start. I think the brackets and stuff start coming out around 1 o'clock. So, again, make sure to stay tuned to WDUXradio.com and Facebook. I know Mike Wendland's going to be updating that as much as he can for all of our local teams. Pistol formation again for Connor Kirky. Going to give it up to Bryce Hittner. Run up the middle and a nice tackle right at the line. See if we can get a number for you. That was one heck of a tackle coming across.
Tackle made by Aiden Elwood.
Aiden Elwood, the leading tackler.
There you go. Go figure, right?
For the Falcons, Aiden Elwood putting a lick on Bryce Hittner. And it's going to be 3rd and long for Iola-Scandinavia at their own 25-yard line.
And I think it's a crucial 3rd down, Steve, for Amherst to get a stop here.
Absolutely. With trailing by 10, we play midway through the 2nd quarter. Pistol formation for Connor Kirky. Tried the hard count a couple times, gives it up to Carter, and he gets met immediately. And maybe a gain of 1, if that. Looks like Brian Groshek with the tackle for Amherst.
Number 26, Carter Kirky.
That's going to be 4th and 6.
Aiden Elwood with the tackle.
Very interesting call that they would go with Carter Kirky on that one. And not the big man.
4th and 6 from the 26. Connor Kirky will be back to punt. And tries a little rugby style one where he runs off to the side. Gets a nice roll. He'll go out of bounds at around the 42.5-yard line, and that is where the Falcons will take over with 5:53 to go in quarter number 2. Amherst had a nice play to open up their last drive, and then that little wide receiver screen got snipped out perfectly, and a missed throw.
Yeah.
And Amherst has just been a little stale.
Yeah, they have.
If you want to use that word.
Yeah, and that stuffed out bubble screen earlier was the turning point in that particular drive. Well, they got a good stop on defense, but now they got to capitalize on offense. Got to get something going here.
Absolutely. 5:53 to go in quarter number 2. Josh Rick has seen the ball very little here in the first half. Pistol formation in motion. Going to give it up to Rick up the middle. Has room, falls forward inside Iola territory past the 50 to the 49-yard line. A nice, perfectly read run by Lincoln Cullen, putting it into his stomach and not taking it out that time.
Absolutely. The timing on that was beautiful, and I think it's a matter of time before you're really going to see Josh Rick get more carries as this game progresses, because quite frankly, Steve, they're going to need him to be more involved in this game.
Under 5.5 to go, quarter number 2. 2nd and 2 at the 49, 13-3 Iola. Aiden Elwood back into the game for the Falcons. Josh Rick stands behind Lincoln Cullen. He's going to keep it this time as Lincoln going to pitch it out to Chris Anderson. Run out of bounds inside the 45 to the 42. Nice play by Amherst, and it's going to be 1st and 10.
Yeah, no matter which one, whether it be Anderson or Rick or even Cullen, they have the ability to get to the edge, and that's exactly what Anderson did to get that 1st down.
1st and 10 inside. Looks around the 42-yard line. And that is where Amherst picks up their first down of this drive, and a big 1st down for Amherst. And in this quarter, going to give it up to Rick up the middle, and a nice tackle by who else but Bryce Hittner, lowering his head and making the tackle.
Absolutely, and that's one of those things where, like I said before, Amherst does not have the size that they had in the past, but like I said, they're so well coached that schematically, if they can, with their blocking assignments, should be able to make some holes for Rick and the rest of the running backs.
Zach Tully split out far as the receiver. Lincoln Cullen in the pistol. In motion comes Chris Anderson. Going to give it up to Rick up the middle, and he gets to the outside around the 30-yard line. And going to fall forward and see if they should be a 1st down. Yep, it'll be another 1st down for the Falcons.
Looks like he got exactly what he needed for that 1st down.
Now the chain gang doesn't move until the referees tell them to go. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 31 with 4:20 to go in quarter number 2. In motion again is Anderson. Gives it. No, he's going to keep it, and got swallowed up immediately that time by the Iola defense as Carter Schneider with the tackle.
Yeah, Snyder was right there to make the play. Again, Snyder, one of the leading tacklers, hitting her number 1, but I believe Snyder might be number 2.
Yeah, they run that same motion play 3 times in a row, and on the 3rd time it was not a charm for the Falcons.
No, it was not.
And it's going to be 2nd and 11 with 3:50 to go in the 2nd quarter. Split out far this time. Isaac Primus, the receiver. Aiden Elwood as a flank receiver to the left. And this time they're going to hand it off to, that's going to be Chris Anderson, and get taken down. And they fumbled it, but they said he was down. A gain of 1, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Falcons.
Yeah, Anderson tried to get to the edge initially, nothing there, so he makes a cut, and there was nothing there either. And I think just got a yard out of that.
3:15 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Back into the game, a couple of tall receivers for the Falcons, a couple bigger targets for Lincoln Cullen on this long 3rd and 10 with 3 minutes to go. 2 receivers near side, 2 far side. And back to pass, a couple step drop. The pressure is on Cullen. He rolls to the right and throws it out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. And the flag is thrown on Lincoln Cullen. See if they call intentional grounding, possibly.
It was close.
It was thrown in the field of play, so it did cross the initial line of scrimmage. A couple of receivers within that 5 to 7 yard area that he was, where he threw it, but looks like, yep, they're going to call intentional grounding on Lincoln Cullen, and it'll be 4th down. So five yard penalty and a loss, a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down for Amherst.
Yeah, I think that's the first penalty of the night so far in this game.
Yep. Cullen will be back to punt with 2:46 to go in the 2nd quarter. Amherst just unable to find their groove offensively so far. See if they bring pressure. They have the couple of times gotten close. Blocked 1. And the snap good. And
another block.
It again.
Wow.
And it's going to stay in bounds. Going to be taken by Iola, and it's going to be returned for a touchdown. A blocked punt taken at the 25-yard line and stayed in bounds, and Iola recovers it and returns it for a touchdown.
Yeah, and that was the junior, Ed Bonakowski, number 84. And that's one of the things, in this type of weather is the ball is not going to have a lot of bounce to it. And it just rolled, but it just stayed put. And Bonakowski was right there to scoop it up, and smart play on his part to know it was in bounds and just finish it off with the touchdown.
A half a yard from going out of bounds and just stopped right on those hash marks. And he was able to pick it up and run it into the end zone. And it's 19-3, Iola-Scandinavial with 2:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. They're going to try for the PAT possibly. They missed miserably on the last time, but hitting her behind Kirky. Now Carter in motion and rolling out to his right and going to be ripped down, flip it to Hittner, and going to be tackled. And the 2-point conversion is no good, but a blocked punt returned for a touchdown, and Iola scores again. It is 19-3 in favor of the Thunderbirds with 2:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff in 30 seconds.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Welcome back to Amherst High School, where the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds are out to a 19-3 lead with 2:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. Talked a little bit about it. Special teams. We can talk all we want about offense and defense between these two teams, but it's that one factor of the game, special teams, is going to be, like we said, a big factor and a big possible turning point. We've seen it so far. Two block punts, 1 return for a touchdown.
Absolutely. And, they always argue there's always that debate, is special teams really 1/3 of the game? I can tell you it is.
Yep.
I don't care what anybody says. It is.
Iola-Scandinavial will be kicking from right to left at the 40-yard line. Amherst will get the ball right back. Only scoring 3 points. That was the field goal in the first quarter. And going to be lined and going to be taken at the 31-yard line. And going to be ripped. Stays on his feet to around the 38-yard line. That's Tristan Shelvin, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Well, I got to tell you, Steve, this is a position that Amherst is not used to.
Yep. Yeah, they only loss on the year came in week 2, and that was a 34-0 loss to St. Mary's Springs. But we've said it, and we're probably going to say it for quite a few more years. St. Mary's Springs, the cream of the crop when it comes to high school football.
No doubt about it.
Going to be a big drive for Amherst. 2 timeouts left, 2:30 to go. They will get the ball to begin the second half. Pistol formation for Lincoln Cullen. And it's going to be no flag, no nothing for either side. Oh, Zach Tully. No, that is.
And no timeout was called. They just regular stoppage of play.
Yeah, a little bit of equipment on the far side. And we'll get things going again. 2:30 to go. Lincoln Cullen back to pass. Has him open on the far side, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wow.
And broken up on the far side by Alex Sharp. Nice pass there by Lincoln Cullen, but broken up. Perfect timing by Alex Sharp.
Yeah, single covers there on Sharp, and he gets there just at the last second to break that up.
And it's going to be 2nd and 10 now with 2:24 to go. They had wide receiver screens on both sides, and then a receiver go long on that far side, and it was just broken up in time. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Amherst Falcons. Josh Rick, the running back behind Lincoln Cullen. They're going to keep it as Lincoln Cullen and get swallowed up again and driven backwards, and they're going to give them forward progress and stay at the 39-yard line. A long 3rd and 10 now for Amherst with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Cullen had absolutely nowhere to go, and that was the size and strength difference between Cullen and a couple of the Iola-Scandinavial defensive linemen.
3rd and 10 for Amherst. Under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Pistol formation again for Lincoln, and Scott Erickson is going to take a timeout. A little late, I don't want to question his coaching, but one of those times you would call a timeout immediately after the play.
Right, you would think.
So then you would get the ball back with plenty of time, but they do have plenty of time. 1:47 to go here in quarter number 2. 19-3, Iola-Scandinavial will be back in 30 seconds.
Community Insurance is proud to throw their support behind the T-Birds.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. Iola-Scandinavial and Amherst in the Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game. It's been all Iola-Scandinavial so far, leading 19-3. We are on the AM side. On the FM side, Milwaukee finds themselves trailing 1-0. A Manny Machado home run in the second inning. Lincoln Cullen, pistol formation. They tried to catch the Scandinavia defense, but wasn't able to. 1:47 to go. Hard count a couple times, back to pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Well behind the intended receiver, and it falls incomplete.
That's another one that Cullen is lucky that was incomplete, because that had interception written all over it.
Yep, it's going to be 4th and 10 now at the 39-yard line. Punt number 4 coming for the Falcons. 2 of them have been blocked. Bryce Hittner stands back at his own 30-yard line.
We talk about Cullen being efficient with 65% completion percentage, but tonight that's not the case.
Nope.
4 of 11 for 30 yards.
Struggling is Lincoln in the first half. Back to punt is Lincoln. And try the couple hard snaps, and they're going to come again, and a little better blocking there for Amherst. Fair catch called by Bryce Hittner at the 33-yard line, and that is where Iola-Scandinavial will take it. 1 timeout remaining in the first half for Iola. They lead 19-3 in the first, or in this championship game, or conference championship game here this evening.
And with 1:38 and 1 timeout, that's almost an eternity for this Iola-Scandinavial offense.
See if they go to the air here on this drive. 2 running backs flank Connor Kirky. It's Bryce Hittner and Carter Kirky. Shotgun, and they're going to give it. He's going to keep it. Has room up the middle past the 50. Gets dragged down. No, going to stay on his feet inside the 36.
Wow! I don't believe it.
And inside the 20-yard line. First down for Iola-Scandinavia, staying on his feet. Was tackled at the 40 and broke a couple tackles and was able to get pushed all the way inside the 20-yard line. Holy man, that was one heck of a run by Connor Kirky, and it's going to be 1st and 10 inside the Falcon red zone.
He dragged runners a good 10, 12 yards at least, and doing his Bryce Hittner impersonation.
It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line with 1:10 to go, and just like that, Iola threatening again. Pistol formation for Connor Kirky. He's going to, on the counter play, and Bryce Hittner was read perfectly on that one. A loss of, going to be a loss of 4 on the run.
Wow. That does not happen too often to Bryce Hittner.
No, they were able to sniff it out immediately. Tried to go with the counter play, but with nothing doing. It's 40 seconds to go. Iola still with 1 timeout. It's going to be 2nd and 13 from the 21-yard line. Back to pass. Has him on the far side. It's going to be dropped by Carter Kirky. Had him open and goes through it. And that's going to be a flag on the play. There's a flag at the goal line.
Yeah,
a very, very late flag.
Little brother let big brother down. He should have caught that one. That was right in the breadbasket.
The defense was Josh Rick, but a late flag, unsportsmanlike conduct on Iola-Scandinavia, and it's going to be called on Bryce Hittner.
Well, this is what we talked about, Steve, in the pregame. As hyped as they are, as both teams are, you got to keep your composure. You got to keep things in perspective.
Yeah, Bryce Hittner looked back at the official after it was called, and a big 15-yard penalty puts him all the way back to the 35-yard line.
He got hit with an unsportsmanlike penalty in the Manawa game that we called a few weeks back.
And Scott Erickson will take his final timeout with 33 seconds to go in quarter number 2. It is Iola-Scandinavial 19, Amherst 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Whitetail Lane. My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Back to Amherst High School with 32.8 seconds to go in the second quarter. Iola-Scandinavial 19, Amherst 3. You are listening to high school football on WDUX AM Waupaca, excuse me. Steve Mapes alongside Justin Moen, Dave Allen back at the studio, making sure everything comes through without a hitch here tonight. Iola will have it 3rd and 27 back at the 35 after the unsportsmanlike play on Bryce Hittner. He will take it in the Wildcat formation. He's going to be back to pass, looking for Connor Kirky on the far side. Gets bumped. It's going to be incomplete. A little arm.
Iola was looking for a flag, but they're not going to get one.
Yeah, and that was Great defense by Caden Conrad. A little, both ways, it was a little chubby.
They did battle.
Yep, a good battle on the pass attempt, and it's going to be 4th and 27 with 27 seconds to go. Connor Kirky almost came back and made that catch. That would have been
a highlight play for sure.
Yeah, that might have been a momentum buster for Amherst. Not that it would have been big, but 4th and 27 at the 35-yard line with 27 seconds to go. Iola-Scandinavial going for it, kind of in that no man's land. You can't really punt. And they're going to be back to passes. Connor Kirky, a lot of time, has him wide open, and it's Carter Kirky, but he will not get that first down. Great heads-up defense by Amherst not to allow him to get that first down. Gained 26, needed 27, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons with 18 seconds to go.
And that shows you how that penalty loomed large for Iola-Scandinavial. Almost converted, but just a couple yards short.
Now that was that same pass play where Carter dropped it right before that penalty.
And Connor had time, plenty of time. Great job on Iola's offensive line. Great blocking.
Yeah, 18 seconds to go. Amherst 2 timeouts, trailing by 16, and might just take that knee. And they're going to surround Lincoln Cullen, and that is exactly what they will do. All Iola-Scandinavial here in half number 1, and they will let the clock run down. But after 1 half of play here at Amherst High School, it is the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds 19, Amherst 3. We'll send it back to Dave Allen and come back with the first half stats and get you ready for the second half. We'll send it back to Dave Allen for a look at ABC Sports. Again, it is Iola-Scandinavial 19, Amherst 3. We'll send it back with the ABC.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota Powerful, Precise, Proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
Holly and Youngest Holly Funeral Homes, serving the Amherst, Almond, Wapaka, and Wild Rose areas. Realize the importance of supporting our youth in Amherst and the surrounding communities by providing them encouragement in all their extracurricular activities and scholastic studies. WDUXA of Wapaka, moving up to 8:03, and here's the latest from ABC News, and Linda Lopez.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Linda Lopez. An American detainee free tonight after 2 years in a Turkish prison. Pastor Andrew Brunson was held on terror charges. Today he appeared in a Turkish court where he was convicted with time served. President Trump saying he's appreciative tonight.
President Trump in Cincinnati saying he's grateful Turkish courts finally released American pastor Andrew Brunson.
This has nothing to do with anything. There was no deal made at all. There was no deal. But we're very happy to have him and have him in good shape.
President Trump hoping to meet Pastor Brunson at the White House on Saturday. Enfield, ABC News.
Meanwhile, the U.S. working on another international issue. What happened to Jamal Khashoggi? The Saudi journalist disappeared after he entered a Saudi consulate in Turkey a week ago. The president says he plans to speak to Saudi Arabia's top man.
I will be calling at some point King Solomon.
There are fears Khashoggi was murdered. At this hour, Hurricane Michael has claimed 13 lives, with the number expected to rise. The storm barreled through Florida's panhandle midweek and moved quickly through to Virginia, where 5 people were killed. Tonight, emergency workers are still looking for a driver who's missing. So far, they've recovered the car, but not the driver.
Whether they got out safely, we don't know as time goes on. that's not as promising. But the search and rescue is still going on.
Colonel Stephen Flaherty, Superintendent of Virginia State Police. There are wildfire concerns in California tonight.
Wind hasn't arrived yet, and already firefighters are battling flames on a wildfire in San Bernardino.
It's an extremely dry blast. You can feel the heat out here right now.
And heading into the weekend, CAL FIRE is increasing staffing because of strong winds and low humidity levels expected in Northern California through the weekend. Northern California, the wind is expected next week. CAL FIRE says the dangers will be extreme. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And I'm Linda Lopez, ABC News.
Hi, it's Patty LaBelle. You've seen me cooking in my kitchen on TV. I know you have. I'm as comfortable making sweet desserts in my kitchen as I am making sweet music. And when I make my delicious treats, there's only one egg that's sitting up for me and my family. Eggland's Best. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. And better taste. It doesn't get any better than the best. Eggland's Best.
It's time to find adventure on every drive. With Pennzoil Synthetics, you get complete protection for top engine performance. And between October 1st and November 30th, you'll get travel rewards to help you on your journey. With the purchase of any Pennzoil specialty motor oil change, you can earn up to $100 in travel reward credit. Save on hotels, rental cars, and activities. Visit Pennzoil.com/travel on. Find participating locations. Pennzoil, make the switch. Travel on. Offer ends 11/30. Terms apply. For details at Pennzoil.com/travel on.
In Cincinnati tonight, President Trump's thrilled with the release of Andrew Brunson, an American pastor jailed in Turkey.
There was no deal made.
Let's see, how many do we have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And have him in good shape. I hear he's in
8.
very
Okay.
good shape.
We could probably do 60s between everything.
Yeah. The attempted coup in Turkey.
Yeah, Daddy will do 60s between everything else after ABC News.
Falling to Colorado, and now the first ski resort of the season says it's ready.
Yeah, because we're in great shape ad-wise, so.
The latest storm to hit Colorado brought 20 inches of fresh powder, and now Wolf Creek ski area in southwest Colorado says it will be the first ski
Brandon
area
Woodruff
in
just
the
homered off
country to
Kershaw.
host it this season.
Sweet!
That's an all-natural settled pace of 14 inches. There's always a battle in Colorado to be the first ski area to open. Typically, Loveland and Arapahoe Basin are the first in the country, both in Colorado, but they'll be opening late next week. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And some good news for Florida tonight. The orange crop is expected to increase this coming season. Linda Lopez, ABC News.
Oh, very good news. Linda Lopez, thank you very much over at ABC News. Dave Allen here with our WDUX AM 800 forecast tonight. Clear skies, low in the upper 20s. Better cover your oranges and everything else. Westerly winds at 5 to 10 mph. Tomorrow, Saturday, not quite as cool. Partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will tend to hold in the heat, whatever little there is. High temperatures in the low 50s. Really not bad. Southwesterly winds at about 10 miles an hour. Saturday night, not as cold. Cloudy with a chance of showers. Low temperature, about 38. Chance of rain, 40%.
407 feet.
Yeah, it was
Sunday,
not a...
mostly cloudy with a high in the mid-40s. Right now, 31 degrees. Maybe we made it below freezing. Stay tuned for the second half of our game. We'll do that in just a bit. But first, I do have some scoring updates for you. For those who are following the Brewers crew, the Dodgers and the Brewers are tied at the fifth inning. Bottom of the fifth, I believe it is. Dodgers won. The Brewers won. And Manawa is leading Wittenberg-Burnhamwood. This is in high school football in the fourth inning. I'm sorry, not an inning, it's football. I don't know what quarter they're in, but they're leading Manawa over Wittenberg-Burnhamwood by a score of 34-0. And I don't know where they are in the game, but it's quite a score to overcome for Wittenberg-Burnhamwood. We'll return to our game. It's just in halftime, but first this time out on WDUX. Put your over-the-road skills to work for a trusted company.
Yep, go ahead, make it a 60, Dave.
Looking for drivers to meet the needs.
We'll be ready.
Iola-Scandinavial is now hiring drivers and shop technicians. To learn more about benefits, routes, and the exciting opportunities as a driver for Iola-Scandinavial, call the recruiting department at 800-950-0054. That's 800-950-0054.
He goes to the winner, Lima's Steak and Chop Shop. Good at the start at the farm to find fresher, more tender cuts of quality meat. Trimmed the way you like them. Choice cuts of beef, pork, lamb, and poultry. Available in single servings to family packs. Try a little tenderness from the area's largest fresh meat cakes. Nema's Steak and Chop Shop on
And if we need to take a break, I mean, after going through the stats for each team, we can, you know.
Butcher Shop service the way it was meant to be.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. We are at halftime where the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds lead Amherst 19-3 the first half. All Iola-Scandinavia. They scored on a 1-yard run by Bryce Hittner, and then a 1-yard run by Connor Kirky, and then a 25-yard block punt for a touchdown as well. Amherst with a 22-yard field goal in the first quarter. It is 19-3. Iola-Scandinavia talked about it early on. This Iola-Scandinavia offense, great. This Iola-Scandinavia defense, even better than that.
Absolutely, and that is going to be the key for them, especially not only this game, but in the postseason, and that's going to bear very, very well for them. It's going to be pretty exciting to see. Chances are Mike Wentland and yours truly will be covering Iola-Scandinavia. I don't know for sure about level 1. We still have to figure out who's going to be playing who.
Yep.
But I'm guessing that at the very least we're going to get them through, like I said, level 1 is going to be yet to be determined, but at least level 2, level 3, level 4, you know, getting ahead of myself again, but you're pretty confident that they're going to get, you know, at least that far, and probably to state. So, but I'm sure that Mike Wentland and yours truly, Justin Moen, will be covering Iola-Scandinavia throughout most of the playoffs.
Yeah, and we got a good update from Appleton, Waupaca only trailing Xavier 21-14 at halftime. Like Dave Allen said, Manawa leading 34-0 at halftime. And then the big thing that we just got, Brandon Woodruff, the pitcher that came in for Gio Gonzalez, hitting a 407-foot home run off of Clayton Kershaw.
What a bomb!
And it was now it's tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And just saw Brent Suter hit a home run off of Corey Kluber earlier this year.
Right.
And now Brandon Woodruff off of arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball right now, Clayton Kershaw. So 1-1 in the NLCS down in Milwaukee. But got some stats for us, few and far between for the Falcons, and a lot, I assume, for Iola-Scandinavia.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll start with Amherst right now. 27 plays altogether, a total of 76 yards. Lincoln Cullen, 4 of 11 for 30 yards. He's got 8 carries for 9 yards. Josh Rick, 4 carries for 22 yards. And for the Iola-Scandinavia Thunderbirds, 26 plays, 193 yards altogether. Connor Kirky, 2 of 5 for 80 yards, 5 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Bryce Hittner, 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. And, of course, Ed Bonakowski with that 25-yard fumble return on that punt, or that block punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, and, I mean, Hittner, 55 yards. He averages over 240 yards a game. So Amherst keeping him intact a little bit. Their offense has just got to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to get something going here. They're going to get the ball to start the first half, and they need points on this opening drive here to start the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. As we will take another 60-second timeout, come back and talk a little bit about some playoff possibly scenarios, other games going on around the area, and some keys to the second half for both teams. We'll be back in 60 seconds with all that right after this.
C&B Professional Insurance and Rural Mutual Insurance believe there's something more important than just winning or losing a tournament. That's why
singled and Yelich walked.
Rural Mutual Sportsmanship Award for more than 50 years. Dave Loken lives and works in your community and cares about the same things you do. For a free insurance quote, contact C&B Professional Insurance at 715-258-8830 or visit Dave at 219 West Fulton, Waupaca. Put your over-the-road skills to work for a trusted company. H.O. Welding is looking for drivers to meet the needs of their growing company. H.O. Welding is now hiring drivers and shop technicians. To learn more about benefits, routes, and the exciting opportunities as a driver for H.O. Welding, call the recruiting department at 800-950-0054. That's 800-950-0054. H.O. Welding, a part of the Amherst community for over 80 years and proud to cheer on the Falcons.
Welcome back to Amherst Amherst High School week 9 already. Man, it just continues to fly by.
It really does.
Every year it goes faster and faster, and it's quite something to think that next week already will be high school postseason.
One of the best times of the year.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah, with the weather could be a little warmer, but
yeah, it'd be nice. It's getting a lot cooler this time of year. Probably a good 15 degrees cooler at least. But, you know, that's what you got to expect for fall.
Oh, absolutely. Just going through the Central Wisconsin Large coming into week 9. Amherst and Iola obviously tied for first. Bonduel at 4-2. Manawa at 3-3 with a win tonight. They are into the playoffs. Bonduel securing a spot. Shackton, a very down year. 2-4 in the conference, 3-5 overall. Pacelli at 2-4. Wittenberg, Burnhamwood at 1-5. And Waiawega Fremont still looking for that first conference win in a number of years.
Absolutely.
At 0-6 and 0-8 overall. Other games going on around the area. Wittenberg is at Manawa, like we've been saying. Bonduel is at Pacelli. Shackton is at Waiawega Fremont. Marion Tigerton is at Central Wisconsin Conference small champions. Allman Bancroft tonight. Pittsville, who is second in that conference, is at Flambeau. Tri-County is at Rochelt. And Wild Rose without a game in week 9. In the Bay Conference, Clintonville is at Green Bay West. Seymour is at Menasha. New London at Shawano. Green Bay East at West Superior. And Wapaka is at Xavier. So, what do you want to talk about? I mean, we got about 6 minutes left before the second half starts. The big day, obviously it's week 9 now, but big day tomorrow, figuring out where everybody's going to be heading. Iowa, a very good possibility. Obviously, the number 1 team in Division 6 all season long. Will be able to host quite a few games at Thunderbird Field. So that Division 6 field wide open, especially depending. There are a lot of if you win, you're in the playoffs, and if somehow a certain team wins or something, St. Mary Springs could end up the biggest school in Division 6. There is a way that St. Mary Springs, ranked first all year long in Division 5, could end up in Division 6.
Yeah, and if that is the case, that ends up being a monkey wrench for Iola-Scandinavial, because I think every expectation was that St. Mary Springs would stay in Division 5, but we don't know that for sure. We won't know that until late tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. And so we'll have a little bit of time in the early afternoon hours. I don't know who's working in the afternoon shift tomorrow, but hopefully whoever that person is will be able to keep people updated, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, where's my team playing? Are you going to have that game? You know, we've had to make some very tough decisions. This is the first time we've ever really had to encounter that, because I know Jack Berry has been with WDUX for almost 30 years, and he can't ever recall a time where we had to not air a Wapaka Comets game. And so I'm sure, and I know for a fact there were some Comets fans that were disappointed in that, and of course, we apologize for that, but at the same time, it was a decision we did not take lightly. We really had to look at, what we had in front of us, and there was just no way we could not do this game right here in Amherst. Just way too big of a game.
And not carry the Milwaukee Brewers, who are...
And that's really the team that has put the monkey wrench in our scheduling. You got to, and then that's not going to just stop here tonight. But of course, tomorrow's not so bad because the Brewers will be playing in the afternoon, and then we'll have the Badgers playing at night. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But then on Monday night, you got the Packers playing, and then you got the Brewers again. But I think we're going to set this up where we're going to have the Packers on the FM side and the Brewers on the AM side. We've had to do that before. We did that 10 years ago when the Brewers were trying to get that wild card spot in 08. We did the Packer game on the FM side and carried the Brewers on the AM side to make our listeners happy. Or try to you're not going to please everybody, but if you can try to please as many people as possible, that's what we strive to do at WDUX.
And as selfish as it seems, Wisconsin just has fantastic sports.
We do.
We are spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
Especially now with Milwaukee doing so well, and the Packers every year been able to carry them, and especially around the Central Wisconsin area, fantastic high school football, fantastic high school basketball, and I don't want to continue to say we're spoiled, but we are very, very fortunate and very lucky to have the high schools that we have around here.
Yeah, and it's a tough decision for people in the audience too. What do you do? Do you go to the game, or do you stay home and listen to it and then watch the the Brewer game? So people in the central Wisconsin area and really throughout the state of Wisconsin, excuse me for that matter, trying to make those those hard decisions, which they really haven't had to make ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will take a 60-second timeout, come back and get you ready for half number 2. We got an update from Miller Park. Bases are loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd for the Milwaukee Brewers. We will come back in 60 seconds. Hopefully something happens in that time, and we'll come back and set you up for half number 2 from Amherst High School.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
I was hoping for an update from Miller Park, and we got one. Hernan Perez with a sacrifice fly, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee in the bottom of the 5th inning. But back to this game, just some keys to the second half for both teams to keep the lead and continue to try and get that first Central Wisconsin large conference championship, and for Amherst to try and come back and get back into this ball game.
Yeah, for Amherst, like I said, this is unaccustomed territory for them, being down by 16. You'd have to go back to the St. Mary Springs game early in the season, the last time they were down by that type of a margin, because it's usually the opposite. But they really got to get Josh Rick going here. Like I said at the halftime report, he's only got 4 carries for 22 yards, and Lincoln Cullen, who's usually pretty efficient, 65% completion percentage going in this game, he's only 4 of 11 for 30 yards, and he's only got 8 carries for 9 yards. So this offense, they got to get going with the guys that have gotten them this far.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was one surprise for me. The first 3 or 4 drives that Amherst had, like I said, Josh Rick has only got 4 carries, and so we'll see how much more he is implemented into this Amherst offense in half number 2. And about Iola-Scandinavial, I mean, just got to keep doing what you're doing and not pick up that dumb penalty at a very key point in this ball game.
Yeah, and credit to both teams, though. I mean, there's only been 1 penalty for each team in this game, so it's been pretty clean for the most part. But for Iola-Scandinavial, yeah, number 44, I mean, that's not a shock there.
Yeah.
And but special teams has been a big key, and could be, if we look at this, if this plays out the way it has so far, if Iola wins this game, you can probably look at the turning point of that game really being that Ed Bonikowski fumble recovery, or after the block punt, I should say, for that 25-yard touchdown run.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Amherst was going to try and pin Iola back, block punt, and it turned from 13-3 to 19-3, just like that. So, and Iola, again, had another opportunity to punch it in at the end of the first half. And
it was that dumb penalty that prevented that from happening.
Incomplete pass, and then a unsportsmanlike conduct forced them all the way back. They almost picked it up, but was stopped a yard short after that. So, starting in the second half, Amherst will be receiving. Steve Mabes alongside Justin Moen, Dave Allen back to the studio. This is the 2018 Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game on AM 800 WDUX. Before we go any further, we would especially like to give a huge thank you to all of the sponsors from both Amherst and Iola helping us put this game on. We had an abundance of help and support from sponsors around the area.
Yeah, we really did. And both these communities are so awesome. I mean, they all are, all of our area teams. But, for these two especially, they have so much support from their boosters, the advertisers, and their community. Couldn't ask for a better place to be tonight.
Absolutely is. Coach Lusik yelling to his receivers to go up a little closer. Iola-Scandinavial to kick things off. And they will, it's on the ground. Amherst will recover it at the 34-yard line, and that is where the Falcons will begin things here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, he really had a hard time hanging on to that football, so he had no choice but to just fall on it.
Yep, that was Caden Conrad coming up with it on the kickoff. And Amherst will start at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 here in quarter number 3. Again, don't forget to stay tuned to WDUX Facebook page and WDUXradio.com and over the airwaves tomorrow for playoff seedings and updates all day tomorrow. Pistol formation, and they're going to keep it as Lincoln Cullen up the middle and going to fall forward and past the 40 and trying to rip it away was Kellen Wanke, and he just fell right past him.
Absolutely, just a nice read option there by Lincoln Cullen, and a nice gain here on 1st down.
Yeah, 2nd and 2 now from the 41-yard line for the Falcons. That is a good opening play coming out of the half.
Yeah, that's a play they really needed.
Yep. 2 receivers, one receiver flanked out near side. Aiden Elwood in the game for Amherst. And they're going to give it up. No, going to keep it again is Lincoln Cullen. Going to fall and going to be a yard short.
Yep, he's a little short.
Yep, 3rd and going to be a long one for Amherst.
But this is really where you want to be if you're in 3rd down situations.
Yep.
They've been in 3rd and long several times in that first half.
Big 3rd down for Amherst and Iola. If Iola is able to get Amherst off of the field on the opening drive. 10:45 to go. Got 2 receivers, one near side, one far side. In motion is Aiden Elwood. Lincoln Cullen's going to keep it, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Gets ripped down by Bryce Hittner, and it's going to be 4th and a long 2.
Yeah, Hittner got there fast and read that one very well.
And Amherst is going to have to go back to punt. Lincoln Cullen, just a junior for Coach Lusik and the Falcons. The last couple of quarterbacks he's had, you had Garrett Groshek, obviously, now a standout player with the Badgers, and then Marcus Gladusky, and all those great quarterbacks coming through this program. And it's going to be a fake, and going to take it. Aiden Elwood's going to fall forward. He's
going to be close. Ooh, so close. I think he's got, my initial look on that by the eye test is that he's got it.
It's going to be very close, and going to put on that far hash mark to C. And the head official, they're going to...
I think they're going to have to measure that one.
They're going to measure it. Bryce Hittner's trying to eye it up.
But I think he might have it by the nose of the football.
And tried that fake punt, and it's going to be very, very close. Ball sitting at the 44-yard line, and it was going to be a 1st down by a half a football. So 1st down Amherst, and a very gutsy play. He almost, obviously they had to measure it, so it was extremely close, but he almost didn't make it.
No.
And that would have been a big momentum swing for Iola. 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 44-yard line, 9:50 to go. Coach Lusik relaying the play to his offense. Had to get out there quick because their offense was not out there at all. Lined up by the sideline. Going to give it to Josh Rick up the middle, and it's going to fall forward past the 45 to the 48-yard line, and that's his first carry of the second half and just 5th of the game.
Yeah, nice dive play there by Rick. A solid gain. And again, they got to get him going in this second half.
2nd and 6, ball on the 48-yard line. 9:10 to go. Just a 2-score game. Only down by 16 are the Falcons. Pistol formation again. It's Lincoln Cullen. Going to give it out the middle. Fall inside Iowa territory is Josh Rick to the 49-yard line. And a gain of 4. And it's going to be 3rd and 3 at the 49-yard line.
And again, third down and manageable, Steve, which is what they need. And hopefully they can get to first down here and keep this drive going.
Bringing in Caden Olson for John Farkas, put a little bigger beef up there for the Falcons. Caden Olson standing in at 6'6", 185. Looks bigger than 185 of her alignment. Pistol formation, 3rd and 3 for Amherst. Going to give it up to Josh Rick to the right side. He's going to fall forward for the first down to the 45-yard line, and another first down for the Falcons with 8:20 to go.
And again, slow, methodical, hard-earned yards for Amherst. They haven't had that big explosive play, but then again, neither is Iola for the most part.
Going to put them right at the 44.5-yard line. 45 is the closest yard marker. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. First down, or continuing to get those slow, like he says, slow methodical drives, slow methodical plays. Under 8 minutes to go. In motion is Chris Anderson. Lincoln Cullen keeps it, puts his head down, and just falls forward. Does that just about every time he has the ball.
Yeah, and really, to be honest with you, it's not that tough to figure out either offense.
Yep.
And like I said before we even started our broadcast, the defensive line on the line of scrimmage, they could call the offensive plays. They really could.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's just like, I mean, it's that Wisconsin Badger mentality.
Yeah.
We're going to run it down your throat. Good luck stopping us.
Exactly.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8, ball on the 43-yard line. 7:15 to go in the third quarter. Back to pass goes Lincoln Cullen on the far side. Has his receiver, and it's going to be caught.
Wow, what a
catch! Holy cow, that's going to be Zach Tully. Had it bobbled in the air. What a catch along the far sideline, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
Well, there's another highlight play for Tully. Wow, juggling that there for about a good 2-3 yards before securing the football.
And you could tell by the reaction of the Falcon fans over on the far side on the track that he came down with the ball, and what a catch for Zach Tully.
And I believe that is the biggest play on offense that Amherst has had all night long.
Yeah, a big gain for Amherst, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 25. He's going to roll out to his right, look for his receiver, and it's going to be. We don't have a.
It looks like it's going to be picked off.
Yeah, not quite sure. And
yep, it is.
Going to be
Interception.
Going to be intercepted by Iola-Scandinavial along the sideline. Did not have a signal either way, and then that far referee, I still don't think he really knows.
No,
he really knew what the play or the call was. But Iola will take over, 1st and 10 at the 15.
And I couldn't tell who intercepted that pass because it was a sea of blue in front of us.
And just like that, Iola will take over. And it looks like the Wildcat again. Bryce Inner will take it. Bounce out to the right side and get wrapped up. And no gain, maybe a gain of 2 or a yard on the play. Brian Groshek on the play. Talked about Garrett a little bit before. Brian, the younger brother of the Grosheks. I mean, the way that, I don't know if you were able to watch the game against Nebraska on Saturday for the Badgers.
Yes.
Garrett has no fear.
No, he does not.
He is no fear for a.
And he's a solid player for Wisconsin. He really is.
2nd and 9, ball in the 16, 6 minutes to go. And looks like the official is tying one of the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds' shoes.
Usually you're taught that when you're 4 years old, how to do that.
The right guard, they had to go in there and tie a shoe. Shotgun formation for Connor Kirky. And he's going to keep it and fall forward. Amherst had one after Bryce Hittner had him read perfectly, but nice read by Connor Kirky to keep it.
I just hope the official didn't tie his shoelaces together. That would have been mean.
It's going to be 3rd down now for Iola, 3rd and 6. Amherst trying to get the crowd into it. Connor Kirky, let's see who, he's going to be in that pistol formation with Bryce Hittner standing behind him, 2 receivers near side. a wide stance, a big gap on the near side, and it's going to be optioned to the near side by Connor Kirky and get wrapped up by the Falcon defense. There was a huge split between the right tackle and the right guard, and the Amherst defense went right through that hole.
They did.
And were able to come up with a big tackle. Not quite sure what that play call, or it was an option, but there was a huge split on that right side.
Yeah, it almost looked like a counter play.
Yep.
And again, not giving it to number 44. Interesting call.
Yep. Back to punt is Connor Kirky. So after the interception, Amherst able to force Iola in a 3-and-out. No pressure on Kirky. A high punt, short punt, and going to bounce and be down at around the 40, no, that's going to be 38-yard line, and that is where the Amherst Falcons will start. Great field position for the Falcons on their second possession. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout, come back with Amherst's ball.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any others.
Get the products you need for the new season from OK Hardware and Rental, South Main Street, Amherst.
Josh Rick gets the carry, a gain of 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line. Amherst with their best starting field position of the game and trying to do something, down 16 points with already under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. This second half just cruising right along.
Rick had 4 carries in the first half. He's already got 4 carries in this quarter.
Pistol again for Lincoln Cullen. Josh Rick standing behind him. He's going to be back to pass. Had the double move on the near side. That's going to be caught.
Nice.
And that's Isaac Primus. They've tried that double move just about every pass play and finally able to catch up to Isaac Primus.
And he's been
down Amherst.
And he's been looking for Primus, like you said, all night long. Protection was excellent to give him the time he needed to make that completion.
Amherst now 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Their best. Oh, they had it in the red zone down here, but had to settle for a field goal. 3:30 to go, ball on the 11-yard line. They are able to, again, get that first down at the 1-yard line if need be.
But the main thing, Steve, is they need points on this particular drive.
And not just points, but a touchdown if they want to get back into this game. In motion that's Chris Anderson, and Lincoln Cullen's going to keep it. He's going to roll out to the left, look for a receiver, stiff arm, and he's going to try and fall. He's inside the 1-yard line. Oh, they're going to put him at maybe the 2. Yeah, inside the 1, maybe. Had that whole left side. From the angle that we're at, we can't really, maybe the 2-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 2.
Yeah, that was a nice run there by Lincoln Cullen. The left side was wide open for him, and he makes a nice effort to get another 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, had a stiff arm, and then the Thunderbirds defender on his back and able to fall forward. So it's going to be 2nd and goal 2nd and 1 from the 2. Cullen going to hand it off to Rick. He's going to get met, and he's going to walk into the,
Nope, maybe not. Maybe not.
I thought he walked right in.
I thought he was in, yeah.
But it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. They did get that first down. It looked like immediately that he had gotten met.
Yeah.
But then was able to break and fall in. So.
But at least it's 1st and goal for him. So
1st and goal at the 1 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Now 2:15 to go in quarter number 3. Amherst with a couple fantastic drives in this quarter. Iola just the 1. And it was a 3-and-out punt. So 1st and goal, 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And going to hand it off to Rick. Yeah, he's going to get met. Did not get in.
Nope.
Maybe now at the half-yard line. This is one of those times that Lincoln Cullen actually goes under center possibly.
Absolutely.
And tries to get the quarterback sneak.
Who wins the battle at the line of scrimmage? That is going to be interesting to see on this particular drive.
Yeah, and we've said it before, Amherst more undersized than they have been
Right.
in the last couple of years, and we'll see if they can at least get that push that they need to get over the line. Only one receiver out. Now one near side. But Lincoln Cullen going to try and orchestrate a touchdown here. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. And he's going to fall in.
This time he's in.
Into the end zone. Touchdown. 1:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Josh Rick on the left side falls in, and it's touchdown Falcons.
Well, that was a really nice drive from start to finish, Steve, and Rick finishes it off. And that's, again, they needed that.
Yep.
Not just like you said, not just points, but they needed touchdown here. So cold I can't even talk anymore.
1:14 to go. They're going to try for the 2-point conversion. They are down by 10. 19-9. The missed PAT by Iola and the missed 2-point conversion by Iola might come back possibly to bite them in the butt.
Yep,
So
never know.
It's going to be a 2-point conversion from the 3-yard line. I believe that's usually where it's from. Lincoln Cullen pistol formation. In motion is Aiden Elwood. He's going to give it to Elwood, and he's going to lose 2 yards. And it's going to be the 2-point conversion is going to be no good. With 1:14 to go in the 3rd quarter, Iola-Scandinavial 19, Amherst 9. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
To Amherst High School. They kick off that squib kick that they have done for the last 8 years that Coach Lusik's been here. So that is where Iola will take over on the short return. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Amherst able to score on the short field after the poor punt. So with 1:08 to go in quarter number 3, it's Iola 19, Amherst 9. 3 receivers near side. Shotgun formation, 2 running backs flanking Connor Kirky. They're going to give it up to Bright Sidner. He's going to try at the outside. He's got room. He's going to run over a defender and inside Amherst territory to around the 50. Inside to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Thunderbirds.
And that was just vintage Bryce Sidner doing what he does so well, getting to the edge when he needs to, makes a nice cut, and he's just tough to bring down. And we just found out Brewers now ahead 4-1.
Nice. Fantastic. 3 errors for Los Angeles.
Wow.
As I looked, had that one hit, the 1 home run, Manny Machado, but now 4-1 Brewers.
We're calling 2 games here, Steve.
Absolutely fantastic. Trying our best. 3 receivers far side. Going to give it up to Hittner up the middle, and he's going to just plow through the middle of the line for another 1st down.
And again, another vintage run by Bryce. This one is a dive. And again, took 2-3 Falcons to bring him down. Even when they were trying to tackle him by the hips, by the legs, they still couldn't do it.
That's gonna give them the 1st down. Yep, 1st and 10 Falcons, or 1st and 10 Thunderbirds, excuse me, at the 36-yard line. Bryce Hittner, again, that was just, like you said, a normal dive play and just plowed right through the offense and defensive line. Now Iola-Scandinavial with a nice drive going to their own. 1st and 10 at the 36 with 20 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. 1 receiver, and they're going to give it up to Hittner on the far side. He's going to try and bounce it to the sideline, and he gets nowhere, maybe a gain of a yard to the 35-yard line. Not 34, they give them 2. But that will do it for quarter number 3 here at Amherst High School. And after 3 quarters of play, it is Iola-Scandinavial 19, Amherst 9. We go to the 4th quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Back to Amherst High School, quarter number 4 here in week 9. I said it when we went coming out of halftime, but it's just unbelievable. I mean, week 9 already of the high school football season, last week of the regular season, and I follow Travis Wilson, the head of WIS Sports. There are close to 3,000 high school football players playing in their final high school football game of their career tonight. So
unbelievable.
Absolutely one of those moments that you'll never forget playing high school football, that's for sure. 2nd and 9 at the 35 as we begin things here in quarter number 4. They're going to, met immediately.
Wow.
Tried the read option and a great tackle there in the backfield. That was Ethan Dombrowski. What a read by Dombrowski.
Yeah, he read that perfectly. There was nowhere for Kirky to go, and now it makes it 3rd and long.
It's going to be 3rd and 12. Amherst coming out. We've said it. They did not allow a point here in quarter number 3 to Iola.
Nope.
And it's one of those things. Amherst, one of the top teams coming out of halftime, making adjustments.
Absolutely.
Pistol formation now. Crowd into it here. Go back to pass. He's going to get out! Sacked behind the line of scrimmage by Zach Tully off of a corner blitz. Did not see him at all. What a hit by Zach Tully.
I'll tell you what, Tully has had himself one heck of a second half here. That great completion and now the sack.
Did not see him. Connor Kirky looking to his left the whole time. On the corner blitz, smokes Kirky for a big loss. A loss of 7 on the play, and it's going to be 4th and 19.
And Tully's tackling technique was perfect.
Yeah.
It would have made it for the NFL rules. He followed the rules.
Clay Matthews would have been very, very impressed.
Yes.
With the tackle. Carter Kirky punting with his left foot. There's going to be a penalty flag on the play. Thrown in the backfield right at the 50-yard line on the A at midfield.
Not sure if there was illegal motion or an illegal shift or.
It looks like holding as Coach Lusik's going to push him back. So it's going to be, looked like the head official asked Coach Lusik for the holding.
Holding, absolutely.
On Iola-Scandinavial. Like we said, pretty clean game, just the 3rd penalty. 1 apiece in the first half, and then this holding penalty, and Iola just continues to go back. The scoreboard already changed on the punt. It should be about 4th and 29 or so. It was 4th and 19, so.
Excellent field position for Amherst.
Yep. That will. Bryce Hittner, let's see if they do that same. Yep. Carter.
At least in theory.
Yeah, Carter Kirky rolling to his left. He's going to punt it. A spiraling punt. It's going to be taken at the 15-yard line near side. It's going to be Isaac Primus. Bounces it out to the outside. Stiff arms. A defender and gets tackled out of bounds. That is where Amherst will start. A pretty good return. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Amherst at the, where are they going to put him, at the 30-yard line or so.
1st and 10, Falcons.
A lot of Falcons uniforms right on the sideline. So
the sea of blue blocks the sideline, so we can't really see.
They're going to put him at the 28. So that is where Amherst will start, trailing by 10 with 10:14 to go.
And the momentum is still on their side, Steve.
Yeah, a couple of drives for Iola that just have stalled and have not found their groove here in the second half. Amherst down 10 with 10:14 to go. Lincoln Cullen trying to orchestrate a comeback here in the second half. Josh Rick up the middle gets to the 31-yard line and gain of 3. Gain of 3. It's going to be.
Tackle made by Carter Snyder, second down.
And they're going to put him at the 30 again. A couple. 2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go here in quarter number 4.
And we're going to find out what Amherst is all about. Like I said, the first time since that St. Mary Springs game where they are trailing going into the 4th quarter.
One receiver far side, one near side. That's Primus and Tully, respectively. And he's going to be back to pass. Double move again. And going to try the fade, and he's going to be incomplete. No penalty flag on the play. A little hand combat again by the receiver and the defender, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Falcons at the 30-yard line.
Good battle between Primus and Sharp, but that was just overthrown. There wouldn't have been a flag anyway because that was just, he wouldn't have been able to catch that football.
Kind of lost his footing as well, and it's going to be 3rd and 8.
But he had him too. Protection again was great.
Receiver far side, one near side, and 2 slot receivers. You want to call the flank receivers that. And that one's going to be up. And
picked off.
No,
incomplete. Nope.
They're going to say it hit the ground and off the shoulder pad of the receiver. And that the official was there immediately calling the incomplete pass, a slant that hit the receiver right off the shoulder pad, went up into the air.
And that's one he should have caught too. And that's one that really should have been intercepted.
Yeah. And it's going to be 4th and 8. Amherst going to give the ball right back with 9:28 to go in the 4th quarter. Bryce Hittner stands at his own 37-yard line. Lincoln Cullen back to punt. He's had 2 of them blocked. Not bringing as much pressure. A good punt. He calls for a fair catch. Oh, and bobbles it. And it's going to be taken at the 36-yard line. That's where Iola will take over. We'll be back in 30 seconds for the Iola's possession.
Iola-Scandinavial, 36-yard line.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Bryce Hittner on the carry, dragging Aiden Elwood a couple of yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, we just got to score
47-0
Manoa leading, so it looks like Manoa is playoff bound.
Again, just awaiting those seating meetings tomorrow and pairings on where everybody is going to be headed next week. Iola most likely and Amherst most likely getting a home game, or will get a home game next week, just depending on who they play and where they play. And going to keep it is Connor Kirky. He's going to fall forward and get dragged down and dragged back. And a nice tackle there by Nick Dombrowski. And coming up a little limp is Josh Rick, but looks fine.
Well, it's one of those things, you know, on a cold night, we mentioned it before, you really are going to feel it when you get hit, and it doesn't feel very good at all.
It's going to be 3rd and 3 at the 43-yard line. Connor Kirky going under center. Carter and Bryce Hittner, they're going to toss it to Bryce on the far side. He's got room and going to be taken out of bounds at around the 48-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Iola-Scandinavia, up by 10 with 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Bryce does a nice job getting to the edge and makes that cut.
Yep. Amherst trailing by 10. Iola trying to just have that one drive to kill the clock any way that they can.
Absolutely. Not saying that the clock is ticking, but the clock is ticking.
Yep, absolutely. Pistol formation for Kirky. He's going to be back to pass. Has his receiver across the middle.
Oh, what a catch!
At the 10, at the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Iola-Scandinavia. William Cady. They go 51 yards. And Iola goes up 25-9.
And that right there could be what I would call the backbreaker.
Yep.
With all respect to Wayne Larrabee, don't want to say dagger, I'll just say backbreaker. But again, just like that very first play to start this ball game with the play action, and it hits it beautifully.
Yep.
A nice rainbow to Cady to cap it off.
Yeah, had Isaac Primus on his back foot. He tried to deflect it, tried to intercept it any way he could, just unable to. And Cady goes 51 yards on the pitch and catch. And the PAT is up and way off, wide left, and no good. But with 7:53 to go in quarter number 4, it's Iola-Scandinavial 25, Amherst 9. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
It's great to be sure.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
The Brewers are leading the Dodgers 4-1.
Iola-Scandinavial back to kick now. Amherst will take it at the 22-yard line. On the reverse, Bryce Hittner misses the tackle and falling beyond the 25-yard line, and that's going to be to the 28 or so, and that's where Amherst will take it. Again, that drive, they had it, or had good field position, switched it over at the end of the quarter, or on the punt, but then had a nice run by Bryce Hittner, and then a play-action pass, like you said, it's just been the Achilles heel tonight for Amherst.
Yeah, and that play action was set up so beautifully. He had plenty of time. Protection was great.
First and 10 at the 37, 7:44 to go here in quarter number 4. Back to pass, and that's what they're going to need to do. He went down to a knee when he caught it. Nice pitch and catch, and it's going to be second down for the Falcons.
Now the clock is ticking for Amherst. They got to get going fast here.
Yep, 7.5 minutes to go. You see now they are coming out with the cards. Lincoln Cullen not heading over to the sideline to get the play. In motion comes Kyle Zableski. He's going to keep it as Lincoln Cullen on the left side. He's got room. Falls to the 50-yard line, and it's going to be a first down. 49-yard line. It's still going to be a first down for the Falcons. And that's one of those times you get the first down, you got to get up to the line of scrimmage immediately.
No choice.
Because the clock stops every time the chains move. So
you bet.
And then as soon as the chains get set, he winds the clock. So 7 minutes to go here in quarter number 4. Iola-Scandinavial 25, Amherst 9. In motion comes Kyle Zableski again. Back to pass. Double move has Primus on the far side. It's going to be incomplete off the hands of Primus again. And there's going to be a penalty flag. It looks like it probably this time will be pass interference because Connor Kirky did not look back.
No, and it looked like he grabbed a little bit of jersey, too.
So it's either going to be a holding or a pass interference. It will be a pass interference on Iola-Scandinavial. And Amherst will march it off. And it'll be another first down for the Falcons, going all the way to the 35-yard line.
And I got a final Rothschild over Tri-County, 45-0. So I think Rothschild might be playoff bound.
Wow. Well, again, congratulations to Rothschild. And Manoa, like you said, was up 47-0.
Yep.
They will be heading to the postseason. Pistol again for Lincoln Cullen, back to pass. Has him open, that is
wide open, wow!
That's Anderson inside the 5-yard line. That's Chris Anderson, and they ran that wheel route and had him open inside the 10. A nice pitch and catch, and it's going to be first and goal for the Falcons.
And again, protection for Cullen was excellent.
A perfect pass by Lincoln as well. Coach Lusick, a quarterback in high school, that's his position to look over. Inside the 5, in motion, goes Kyle Zableski. Lincoln Cullen keeps it. He gets swallowed up at the 3-yard line and goes nowhere.
Yeah, that looked ugly from the get-go. Looked like he kind of lost his footing a little bit.
Back into the game will come Kyle Zableski for Aiden Elwood. 2 receivers near side, 2 far side. Josh Rick stands at the 10-yard line as the running back behind Lincoln Cullen. Back to pass, and it's going to be back out to Kyle Zableski and go get him a couple. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal at the 3-yard line. 5:40 to go here in the 4th quarter. Amherst trails 25-9. Trying to get into the end zone and get there's going to be a timeout to the Falcons. We'll do the same. We'll step aside for a quick 30-second timeout, come back, and have Amherst 3rd and goal from the 3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
The Amherst community for over 80 years and proud to cheer on the Falcons.
This is WDUX AM Wapaka at 9:01.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. Steve Mapes alongside Justin Moen, Dave Allen back in the studio, making sure everything comes through perfectly on your side. You're listening to the Central Wisconsin Large Conference Championship game against Iola-Scandinavial and the Amherst Falcons. For the most part, it has been all Iola. Second half, Amherst was starting to get a little momentum, but then the 51-yard pass play did them in so far. Pistol formation for Lincoln Cullen. Going to give it off to Chris Anderson. He's going to bounce to the outside. He's going to fall in, run right into the end zone for the touchdown. Chris Anderson from 3 yards out. He ran 3 yards into the end zone, but probably ran another 20 to get around the outside.
He certainly did. And that was great speed for Anderson to get to the edge and finish it off. He makes a little cut to get into the end zone.
Amherst most likely will, at this point, have to go for that 2-point
Yeah, they will.
Down by 10 points with 5:25 to go. Just hoping for at this point, you still have 2 timeouts left. We'll obviously have to see what Coach Lusick wants to do all depending on this 2-point conversion, if he wants to try for the onside kick or not. So, but now Iola will take a timeout on the 2-point conversion with 5:25 to go in quarter number 4. A 2-point conversion coming up. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Community Bank.
What to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. Falcons, Chris Anderson, a 3-yard touchdown run with 5:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Now 25-15. They lined up for the 2-point conversion, and then Iola-Scandinavial taking that timeout. Just a little precautionary to see what the Falcons were lined up like.
Going to be a little bit of a chess match, but they got to get these 2 points here to make it this a one-possession game.
Kyle Zableski, the receiver, near side. Chris Anderson, a flanker, and he's going to be in motion to the far side. Lincoln Cullen's going to roll out to that side. Has him open and dropped as Lincoln Cullen ran all the way into the end zone, thinking it was a catch, but just out of the reach of Chris Anderson, and it falls incomplete.
And that's a shame, Steve, because he had him too. It was just too low.
Yep. And with 5:25 to go in quarter number 4, it is Amherst or Iola 25 and Amherst 15. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Time has come for all of you wishing for the
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
Iola-Scandinavial with a 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter with 5:25 to go. You can have 11 players on the field. They have 8 of them all along the 50-yard line looking for this onside kick, and it goes onside, and a little bump or bounce, and it's going to just roll out of bounds. Man, they had an opportunity if it would just have died right along the sideline. Very, very close to doing that.
They were hoping to get that bounce from before, but unfortunately that one a little bit too much mustard on that kick, and it goes out of bounds.
Yep, as Iola will take over, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. As Amherst going to try and get a stop, get a takeaway here. Trailing by 10 with 5:24 to go. Down by those 10 points.
Yeah, if they had that 2 points, if they got that, it would have been just one possession, and they would have had enough time.
Bryce Hittner in the Wildcat again with a flanker. That is Carter Kirky. He's going to run on the left side. He's got room. Broken tackle. Great block. He's going to go to the 50, the 45, 40, and get run out of bounds inside the 30 by Brian Groshek. But there is a flag right at the 45-yard line.
I wonder if this will be coming back. But Hittner turned the Jets on that one, and this is coming back.
It's going to be a holding on Iola-Scandinavial. He had that corner for a reason, I guess. So
he went to the next level, turned on his Jets.
Yep.
But unfortunately, all for naught.
Yep, and it's going to be 1st and 10.
Basically no gain.
Yeah, no gain, nothing doing it, because the penalty took place at the 45-yard line is where the first down marker is. So then it's pretty much got 12 seconds run off the clock, and then it's going to be a 1st and 10 again for Iola-Scandinavial. 3 receivers. Connor Kirky, the split receiver to the far side, 2 near side. Hittner, the running back again in the Wildcat. He goes right up the middle to the 45 to the 50 inside Falcon territory, and it's a 1st down for Iola.
Well, there's no doubt about it. At this juncture of the football game, number 44 is going to get the carries here to try to finish this thing off.
Under 5 minutes to go now. As they wind the clock, Amherst down by 10. Coach Slusik just hoping for that one stop, possibly to get the ball back at some point. They take their time getting the play from the Cards on the far side, do the Thunderbirds. Bryce Hittner Wildcat formation. It's going to stay that way pretty much the rest of the game. Gets bounced off his left guard and get tackled around the 45-yard line. Didn't really look like Iola had been set on the snap, but they will take what they get. So under about 4 minutes to go now. 2nd and 7 at the 45. Taking as much time as they can. Get the plays and just wait until you see that back judge start counting.
Yeah, any positive gain they can get on any carry is a good thing because it kills the clock. It starts milking the clock out.
And it's going to be a false start on Bryce Hittner.
Nope, timeout.
Oh, that was called yeah, he was counting in the back. Almost had a penalty on Hittner, but it will be 2nd and 7 at the 45 with 3:44 remaining. We'll come back after this 30-second timeout.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
Back to Amherst High School. Iola-Scandinavial spending their second timeout of the second half. And Amherst, it's going to be a 2nd and 7 at that 45-yard line. A big couple, obviously, there's no doubt about it. Kind of a cliche now. Obviously, a couple huge downs for the Amherst defense.
Oh, no question about that. As the clock continues to melt away here for Amherst, time is running out for the Falcons.
Amherst defense trying to get this crowd back into it. Bryce Hittner in the Wildcat again. A couple hard counts. He's going to go right up the middle and fall forward inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 4 or 5.
Third down.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 now from the 43-yard line. And 3:20 to go. It's going to stay in the Wildcat. Tried the hard count. Amherst didn't budge. And running on the left side, he's going to get stopped immediately. It's going to be 4th and 4, and timeout called by Amherst. 3:02 to go in the 4th quarter. Amherst uses their second timeout, and we'll come back in 30 seconds to set up this 4th down at Amherst. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Whitetail Lanes is a great place to celebrate.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
Amherst High School, the Amherst defense stingent in the second half, just giving up that one big touchdown, but it looks like Iola might go for it here on 4th and 5 with 3:02 to go. Unless they go, but yeah, they're going to do that little maneuver they do when they go back to punt. So Amherst with nobody back to return, rolls to the left and going to punt it right out of bounds at around the 15-yard line, I believe. Now they're going to go all the way up to the 19. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 19. There are obviously a couple of huge plays. Amherst unable to convert on a couple of 2-point conversions. The big one is the punt block that they were able to return for a touchdown was Iola-Scandinavial, and that really 13-3, and Amherst is going to punt it. Have Iola deep in their own territory, block punt, and they were able to score.
Absolutely, and so Amherst right now, a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah, 2:56 to go in the 4th quarter, down by 10. Lincoln Cullen Pistol formation with 4 receivers. Back to pass, still looking, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it out of bounds. And going to be a couple of penalty flags. Intentional grounding again on Lincoln Cullen.
Penalty marker on the play, intentional grounding against.
There's going to be a half a distance.
He wants it down, it'll be second down.
Second down, and you're going to back them up quite a few yards as well, back to the 9-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 20 from the, nope. They're going to put it where he, is it a 15-yard penalty? Huh? Oh, it's going to be a spot foul on Lincoln Cullen, so it's going to be 2nd and long at the 5. First down is at the 29-yard line. So 2nd and 25 from the 5. Now back in their own end zone. Iola's going to bring pressure. Look for his receiver. There's going to be a penalty flag, almost intercepted by Connor Kirky. Penalty flag back at the goal line. And it looks like it might be holding on the Falcons.
Well, this drive falling apart, Steve, for the Falcons.
Falling apart.
At the wrong time.
Yep.
Picking a bad time to do this.
Yep, and Iola will decline.
Holding against Amherst. Penalty is declined.
They will decline the penalty. 3rd and 25 from the 5. Iola-Scandinavial again looking for their first conference championship as a part of the large conference in the central Wisconsin. It would be their first conference title in 11 years. Amherst with a 37-game conference winning streak on the line. In the end zone is Lincoln Cullen in the pistol formation. Looking, back to pass. And he's going to look for his receiver, and it's going to be incomplete over the head. And it's going to be 4th and 25 from the 5 with 2:38 to go here in the 4th quarter. The big, obvious, big play on this drive, the intentional grounding spot foul.
Yeah, that was a killer.
A big 15-yard penalty. And Iola will, I believe Iola took the timeout, and we will do the same. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout, come back with this 4th and 25 from Amherst High School.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
Alongside Justin Moen, as it will be a 4th and 25 from the 5-yard line with 2:38 to go here in the 4th quarter. Don't want to, Amherst is down by 10 at this point, but a few years ago, Packers-Cardinals,
yep.
4th and 20.
And
Aaron Rodgers did his
stranger things have happened.
Yep. 4th and 25 with 2:38 to go. Iola should probably at this point just play the prevent defense. I mean, 25 yards to go for the Falcons. They're going to rush 3, and they are able to bring pressure on Lincoln. He's rolling. He's going to get sacked at the 4-yard line. And that is where Iola-Scandinavial will take over.
Yeah, Steve, that was just a covered sack. There was nowhere for him to go with that football.
They rushed 3 and brought pressure immediately, and then, like you said, they rushed 3, drop 8, and with 5 receivers, they had nowhere to throw the ball. And it's going to be 1st and goal for Iola-Scandinavial with 2:31 to go in the 4th quarter. Bryce Hittner in the Wildcat formation. Looking over the defense, he's going to run to the outside, has room, he's going to walk into the end zone, yes, touchdown. Bryce Hittner from 5 yards out, and that's be all she wrote here tonight. 31-15. Iola-Scandinavia with 2:24 to go. If they're able to put this, I don't know if they're going to try for a PAT, because the last couple kicks have been wide right and wide left. So if they're able to put any points on the board here in this PAT, it will end up being a 3-possession game. So they got to try. Going to try for the 2-point conversion. Up by 16. Bryce Hittner in the Wildcat. Amherst going to bring all they got right now. He's going to run to the left. Going to be tackled. I don't know if he made it.
He didn't make it. Nope, he didn't make it.
And so it's still a 2-possession game with 2:24 to go. Amherst will have the ball, and we will step aside for another 30-second timeout. Come back with the kickoff.
What to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Welcome back to Amherst High School. Bryce Hittner for 5 yards out, unable to convert on the 2-point conversion. And it is 31-15 in favor of the Thunderbirds. And like you said, that drive, it was 1st and 10, had the intentional grounding, back 15 yards, and then unable to do anything after that.
Yeah.
So
what a feeling this has got to be for Scott Erickson and this T-Bird team. Now still 2:24 left, but look like they're in the driver's seat now to be conference champions for the 7th time in his career and the first time since they've joined the CWC Large.
Yeah, 11 years Iola has clawed their way.
It's been a long time.
Has been second to the likes of Amherst for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Shackton at times, Pacelli, and now Iola-Scandinavia's turn is going to be on the reverse on the near side, has room, going to fall past the 45 to the 46, 47-yard line. That is where the Falcons will take. That was Chris Anderson on the return. So now the 2 longest conference winning streaks in the state. First one was Kimberly, obviously, losing in week 1. Amherst had 37. The team Amherst beat last year in the state championship, Lake Country Lutheran, has 35, looking for number 36 here tonight in their game, and they might be, at the time after week 9 is over, they might have the longest conference winning streak in the state. Lincoln Cullen now, back to pass, quick slam move, and it's going to be dropped by Isaac Primus and incomplete with 2:12 to go in the 4th quarter. We said it in the first half, Lincoln just doesn't look like the Lincoln Cullen that the stats have shown.
Exactly.
65.5% completion percentage.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I think we know what you mean.
Yeah.
Your lips are frozen too, yeah.
Cheeks are a little cold, but 2:12 to go, and he's just been off tonight. Double move, pump fakes twice, looking for his receiver, and he's going to be sacked well behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and long with under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, and again, Steve, just another cover sack. Nowhere for him to get that football down the field.
Yeah, with rushing the 3 or 4 that they have rushing him, and then dropping 7 or 8 defenders. It's tough for a quarterback at any level to find a receiver. And 1:35 to go. 3rd and 15 at the 43 of the Falcons. Lincoln Cullen, pistol formation. He's going to be back to pass. Looking for a receiver. That one's going to be over the head and incomplete. Goes out of bounds. Intended for Zach Tully. And it's going to be 4th and 15 with 81 seconds to go.
Yeah, again, just off the mark, just a little slightly overthrown.
And don't forget to stay tuned for our post game. We'll have stats, and again, we'll tell you right at the end of it. Make sure to stay tuned to WDUX all day or all afternoon, all day tomorrow. Why not?
Yep, you bet.
To see where your local team is going to be, or where your team is going to be in the playoffs. Facebook, back pass is Lincoln Cullen, and he's going to be sacked at the 40-yard line, and that will do it. 1:16 to go, and Iola-Scandinavial will take over on downs. And again, stay tuned to WDUX Facebook page. Mike Wendland will continue to update that throughout the afternoon, along with WDUXradio.com, and we'll have again all of the updated brackets and seedings and pairings for the playoffs starting next week.
It's almost like Christmas time for high school sports fans this time of night and into tomorrow with the seedings.
Connor Kirky takes a knee, and with 1:10 to go, handshakes all around for the Amherst Falcons and the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds. Much, much, much respect on both sides. Obviously, one of the top rivalries.
Oh, for sure.
You would say around the central Wisconsin area, Amherst and Iola-Scandinavial. And much respect for both sides being shown here tonight.
For the last 5 years, it's been these two teams in the CWC Large.
Yep.
But tonight, we have a new champion.
Yep. The victorious Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds, for the first time in 11 years, will be crowned the conference champions of the Central Wisconsin Conference. This time, the large division. Amherst will fall to 7-2 and drop their first conference game in over 5 years. And the celebration begins for the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds, and they will be your 2018 Central Wisconsin Conference Large Division champions. Their first conference championship, like I said, in 11 years. Congratulations to the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds, and we'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap this thing up with the stats and have some other scores that we had later on. So again, we'll be back in 2 minutes with our final stats and summaries after this here on AM 800.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Eggland's best.
This flu season, one Walgreens flu shot can make a world of difference. So you can protect yourself and also your close-talking coworkers, high-fiving neighbors, 2-month-old niece. That's why Walgreens has specially trained pharmacists that have provided over 60 million flu shots since 2010. Stop by for your flu shot today with a $0 copay with most insurance. Because protecting the world starts with protecting yours. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Welcome back at Amherst High School. It was the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds victorious over the Amherst Falcons 31-15. Iola is the conference champions, the first time in 11 years. Congratulations to them. Amherst coming out of that handshake line, heads held low, but still second in the conference, 7-2 overall. And the season's not over yet. Mark Lusick will, I'm sure, go over there and tell him the season's only begun. You got the playoffs coming up. So just go through some final stats, and then we will sign off here.
All right, well, for the Amherst Falcons, Lincoln Cullen, 9 of 24, 111 yards, an interception. For Josh Rick, 12 carries, only 37 yards, 59 plays for Amherst, 198 yards total. For the victorious Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds, 43 plays, 308 yards. Connor Kirky, 3 of 7, 131 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Hittner, 26 carries, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's just, we talked about it. It was going to be a grinded out game the whole time. You saw how Amherst was able to come out in the second half and show you the adjustments that they put together. No points given up in that second half, or in that third quarter, excuse me, to Iola. But then the fourth quarter switched. Iola, big touchdown, 51-yard touchdown pass to Katie, and that was pretty much it. And then the big drive at the end for Amherst that just went backwards. So that was, yeah.
Yep, and we just got word that Wapaka did lose tonight to Xavier 31-14, so Wapaka not going to the playoffs this year.
Wapaka will, just like you said, will not be headed, but these two teams will, and so so will Manoa,
absolutely.
So will Manoa and Rosholt. So Rosholt, for what we know right now, is headed to the playoffs. Iola-Scandinavial finishing 9-0 overall, 7-0 in the CWC Large. They are your conference champions. Amherst falls to 7-2 on the year and 6-1 in the CWC Large. Again, don't forget to check out WDUX Facebook page tomorrow for the pairings and the brackets that will be updated throughout the day, and WDXradio.com, and just tune in to 92.7 or AM 800. We will make sure it gets out on the airwaves as well. Any last thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, you know, obviously congratulations to the Iola-Scandinavial Thunderbirds on winning their first conference title in 11 years, their first as a member of the CWC Large, and as I mentioned before, Scott Erickson now his 7th conference title overall, 95, 96, 98, 99, 03, 07, and here in 2018. I just got word from Mike Wentland that Waiawega won 34-26. Wow. But you know, congratulations goes out to both teams. You know, Amherst, like we said, these have been the two big teams, the number 1, number 2, you know, for the last 4 or 5 years. And tonight it's Iola-Scandinavial coming out on top. But as you mentioned, their season has only begun because they got a postseason. They don't know who they're going to be playing. Well, Iola, they'll get a home game.
Yep.
They'll be number 1 in Division 6. And so they're going to have home field throughout the playoffs, just like they did last year.
Yep.
And for Amherst, yet to be determined.
Yep. Yeah, they'll at least get one home game. I mean, they did finish 7-2, and will probably finish in the top 6 or 7 in the state. So in Division 5. So again, stay tuned to all of the pairings tomorrow. If you can't get to a radio or get to a computer later on tomorrow night, go to WIAAWI.org for all of the updated brackets as well. So, again, like I said, Coach Lusick now has to get those 2 wins in the playoffs to reach win number 100.
Yeah,
so,
just bounce back from this and get ready to go for the postseason.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we're going to sign off from
Well, Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And congratulations, you're going to get married on the 27th, so I got to get that out of the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's coming up quick.
There you go.
All righty. From Amherst High School, we'd like to thank Dave Allen back at the studio, making sure everything came through without a hitch tonight. Dave has been phenomenal over the handful of games that I've done with him over the summer and into the fall. So, again, I'd like to thank all of our area sponsors and boosters. We had a lot of them tonight, so go out and make sure you thank every single one of them here tonight. Again, for Dave Allen back at the studio and my broadcast partner, Justin Moen, I am Steve May signing off from Amherst High School. Iola-Scandinavial victorious 31-15 and your 2018 Central Wisconsin Conference Large Division champions. I am Steve May signing off from Amherst High School. We'll talk